presentation of Fox Sports.
For 67 years, the legends of college football have played and coached on these historic grounds, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Today, Chris Sims' highly scrutinized career as Longhorns quarterback comes to an end, and he and his teammates try to erase painful memories of their last 4 games on this field. It's been a roller coaster ride this season for Nick Saban's Bayou Bengals, involved in 2 of the wildest finishes you'll ever see. Traditional college football powers, Texas and LSU, meet on the gridiron for the first time in 40 years. What a way to bring in the new year. It's the 67th annual SBC Cotton Bowl Classic, next on Fox. It's a sun-splashed New Year's Day in Dallas, Texas. We welcome you to the 67th annual SBC Cotton Bowl on Fox. 2 of the great powers in college football history collide today as the LSU Bengal Tigers take on the Texas Longhorns. And a happy New Year's to you and yours. Alongside Ron Pitts and Tim Green, I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome to college football here on Fox. When the season began, the Longhorns had aspirations, Ron, of a national championship. Obviously, it didn't work out that way, but they are back on the college football map under head coach Mack Brown, and a big reason why, their quarterback Chris Sims.
That's right. You look at Chris Sims, he's got all the tools, I think, to someday be a big-time NFL player. And as he goes, Texas goes. The big problem, Sims has not played well or won the big games here at Texas. He has to prove that. This is his senior year, his last chance to wear the burnt orange. He wants to go out a winner in that fashion. And he's a guy that really needs to start out right in the game. You know, if he gets some rhythm, then he gets a little confidence, and with the confidence comes some effectiveness. And he's got a wide receiver that I think can make anybody effective, Roy Williams. Now, Roy Williams is a big-time impact player. He can change a game with one play. He's strong, he's got great hands, and he can get behind the defense. And Tim, you look at LSU, and I think that's the dilemma for them. They got to find a way to get the Sims and at the same time stop Roy Williams.
Well, the good news for LSU is they've got the #2 pass defense in college football. So they know what they're doing. But even with those kind of statistics behind them, they look at Roy Williams and they say, no, we need to put not 1 but 2 guys on him. They need to press him with a cornerback and back that cornerback up with a safety. But if you do that, how do you at the same time pressure Chris Sims? As Ronnie said, how do you also stop the run game? You need somebody that's tough, somebody that's fast, and somebody that also plays the game with their mind. Well, LSU may have that guy in middle linebacker Brady James. James is not only an All-American on the field, he's an academic All-American. And this guy knows how to play the game with his head. Look for a big X's and O's battle between Brady James, who's been prepped with the film work by Coach Nick Saban, against Chris Sims, who's been prepped by his father, Phil Sims.
You talk about LSU, they began the season at 5-1. They beat Florida, but in that game they lost their starting quarterback, their star sophomore quarterback, Matt Muck, and ever since then it's been Marcus Randall. He's done a decent job, 2-3, however, the numbers.
Marcus Randall, young quarterback, he's still learning to throw the football and act like a quarterback in the pocket. He's only a redshirt sophomore. The offense is very watered down for him, very simple. They have to protect him. The way they're going to do that is with a power run game. 2 running backs, LeBrandon Toefield and Dominic Davis. Toefield is a straight-ahead power guy. He's going to try to run you over. Dominic Davis, Tim, is a make-you-miss guy. And they think this will work against Texas because Texas has a lot of speed on the football field and defense.
That's right. Texas is fast, but they're a little light. Look for them to get a lot of men at the line of scrimmage, a lot of penetration, a lot of upfield movement. They can cover man-to-man. They've got a lot of confidence in all their cornerbacks. I think the key may be defensive end Corey Redding. He's an All-American. He's outstanding, and he's going to have to get upfield and contain Marcus Randall. Keep him in the pocket.
It was 40 years ago tomorrow here at the Cotton Bowl when Texas and LSU last met. LSU won that one pitching a shutout. The 67th annual SBC Cotton Bowl kicks off when we return. LSU and Texas, you're watching college football on Fox.
Joe Millionaire. He's wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. These are the 20 women who are vying for his love. He has a heart of gold.
I find him charming and generous and noble.
And a $50 million smile.
He has this contagious smile. That's beautiful.
But the one thing they don't know...
He's tall, dark, and handsome.
He's not really a multi-millionaire. He's just a $19,000 a year ordinary Joe. Joe Millionaire, a new reality series with a twist.
Will you please pinch me? Because I feel like I'm draining.
That's really twisted. Premiering at 9/8 Central, Fox Monday. A bomb is ticking.
There's a nuclear device somewhere in Los Angeles set to go off today.
And our nation's enemies will do anything to stop Jack Bauer from finding it.
I'm not going to give you his location.
But what he doesn't know is that the most dangerous enemies of all are inside our own government.
They want control of your presidency.
More than merely the best show of the year, it's TV's greatest rush.
You are running out of time! We're going down!
The most suspense you can experience in 1 hour.
We're not gonna make it!
Period. 24, an all-new episode next Tuesday on Fox.
The SBC Cotton Bowl Classic on Fox is brought to you by XXX, available now on DVD. By SBC, Ordinary People, Extraordinary Job. By Wrangler, Real Comfortable Jeans. And by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. A sellout crowd of 70,000 welcomes the LSU Bengal Tigers. Bayou, an LSU season defined by 2 fantastic finishes. With 2 seconds left in Lexington, the Tigers were praying for a bluegrass miracle, and it was answered. But 3 weeks later, the tables turned in Little Rock as the Hogs stole the SEC West title in the final seconds. LSU finishing the season at 8-4 in a 3-way tie for first in the SEC's Western Division. Meanwhile, a 10-2 year for Mac Brown and the Texas Longhorns. And as you can imagine, the Longhorn faithful rise as one in burnt orange. Expectations in Austin this year were as huge as the Lone Star State. But the road to glory hit a speed bump in this stadium when again Oklahoma won in a top 5 showdown. But the Longhorns bounced back behind a quick strike offense headlined by running back Cedric Benson, quarterback Chris Sims, and wide receiver Roy Williams, who just made it known to the Longhorn fans that he would return for his senior year. Let's send it downstairs for our coin toss and our referee, Gerald Wright.
Okay, captains, it's a special coin for the Cotton Bowl. LSU on one side, Texas Longhorn on the other side. John Stanky of the SBC Bowl will do the honors of the toss. John.
LSU.
Texas won the toss. What were your choices? Defer. Texas has won the toss, and they will defer second half. Which would you like to do? Okay, which way would you like to? Okay, go around this way. Turn around. LSU will receive this way. Okay, gentlemen.
For more on today's SBC Cotton Bowl Classic, let's welcome in our fourth member of the broadcast team today, the former Dallas Cowboy, Brian Baldinger.
Tomo down here with Mac Brown. Mac, what does this game, the Cotton Bowl, mean to you and to your program?
Well, Brian, anytime you're playing a ball game at the University of Texas or at LSU with these storied programs, winning's important. So it's important for us to get our 11th win. It's important to stand up on a high note because these seniors have played very well for us over the last 4 years.
Mac, the last time you were here 3 years ago, you were disappointed and embarrassed by your performance. What'd you do this year to prevent that from happening again?
Well, we're a lot better than we were 3 years ago, Brian, so I didn't talk much about that when I talked about the 10 wins this year and a positive attitude. And, of course, we want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Everybody's undefeated right now.
All right, Mac, good luck to you. Thank you. Back to you, Tom.
Brian Baldinger will be checking in with you throughout the entire game today. Just a wonderful series that goes back, but we mentioned it's been 40 years since they've gotten together. That's hard to believe, border states. And the last time they got together, 40 years ago tomorrow in the Cotton Bowl, the last shutout in Cotton Bowl history when LSU knocked off national title hopes for the Longhorns that year. You couldn't ask for a more beautiful day. 52 degrees, temperatures expected to climb as high as 61. Wind could be a factor today, blowing out of the northwest anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. Nick Saban, a 51-year-old native of Fairmont, West Virginia, in his third season at LSU, led him to an SEC championship and a Sugar Bowl win last year. They've had to battle through so many injuries. They've also had players suspended, including their outstanding safety, Damian James, and they believe that has kept them from being SEC champions once again. Every ticket issued to both schools sold out in less than 3 hours.
What a beautiful day. What incredible enthusiasm from the Texas supporters, the LSU supporters all week long, Tom. This Cotton Bowl, and we've been here now for 4 years, has, to me, had more energy, more excitement during the week than anyone I've seen.
And, you know, for the University of Texas, they're approaching this game like it is a national championship game. I mean, they didn't like the way things worked out the last time they were here against Arkansas. And it's all business. From talking to the coaches and the players, you can feel that.
I agree, Ronnie, and I know Mac Brown made light of the fact that they lost the last time they were here against Arkansas, but he told us he was embarrassed by that game and his team's performance.
LSU will receive, and the 67th SBC Cotton Bowl is underway. Through the end zone, and LSU will get the football, led by their sophomore quarterback, Marcus Randall. Randall took over for Matt Malk in the Florida game, led the Tigers to a win over USC, then threw 4 interceptions in a critical loss to Auburn. Wound up 2-3 in his 5 starts. Up front, Whitworth, Peterman, John Young in place of the outstanding center, Ben Wilkerson, joined by Sale and Reed. In the backfield, Dominic Davis and Solomon Lee, the tight end Eric Edwards, Jarrell Myers, and Michael Clayton, their leading receiver. And they give it to Dominic Davis. He's out to the 24-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. The Longhorns defensively. First team All-American, number 40. We'll watch him all day long, Corey Redding. The linebacking core, fast, talented. Their leading tackler is Reed Boyd. And in the secondary, outstanding corners in Babers and Basher, Huff and Pearson, the safeties. Play fake. Randall rolls right and fires to the near side, complete to Michael Clayton to the 37-yard line, and a first down for LSU. Good start for Randall.
And Michael Clayton is a guy that could be very big in this game. You know, LSU is a running team.
Well, I think it's going to be important for LSU to continue to do what they do right here. Get Marcus Randall outside the pocket. Let him roll out. Let him see the field.
I was saying, LSU is a running team. That's smart by Nick Saban to come out and throw that ball right off the bat here to try to get Texas defense off balance.
Dominic Davis alone, set back, quick slant across the middle, and out across midfield is again Michael Clayton. the Tigers' leading receiver during the season with 51 receptions.
And Tim, you know the reason they're doing this. Texas has brought down the safety to make an 8-man front the last 2 plays in a row. They're saying, we're going to make you keep those safeties back there and defend this pass.
Michael Clayton being covered man-to-man. He runs a slant. There's a crossing pattern underneath him to clear the coverage. And Clayton, as you said, Ronnie, he's their money guy.
And they're going to work on Babers today. They think that Babers is a guy that they can get something on. They've got him targeted.
Davis trying to find a hole, picks his way inside the 45, down to the 43. This Texas defense held its opponents to the 12th fewest yards per game in NCAA Division I football and the 8th fewest points per game.
Well, when you look at this defense, Tommy, you look at it, you say they're a little light, so you think that maybe you can run right at them. And LSU right now, they're running right at them, but they're also able to find something in the passing game.
A 2nd and 5, and Randall to throw. Good protection. Guns it over the middle, and a 3rd time he finds Clayton inside the 30, down to the 27.
Another shot by Marcus Randall. One thing Marcus Randall has is a gun for an arm. He doesn't always know where he's going and when to go there, but when he's got a man open, he can do that. That's just arm strength.
That's arm strength, Ronnie, but he also is reading the defense extremely well. Texas, they're in man-to-man. His receivers are separating themselves from that man coverage.
52 yards picked up by LSU on this opening drive. They give it to Davis. He slips a tackle and has room inside the 20 and barrels his way to the 13.
A lot of people wondered whether or not LSU was going to be able to even stay in this game with the 9th-rated Longhorns. And I got to tell you, right now, the way this game is going, Texas better buckle up. They're missing tackles, they're missing coverages, and LSU is taking it to them.
Tim, you and I were here 3 years ago when they took on Arkansas. Texas heavily favored in that game, and they were worn out by the Hogs.
Exactly, Tommy, and that's exactly what Mack Brown said. We don't want LSU to be another Arkansas. They snuck up on us and got us.
Davis tripped up inside the 10 by Nathan Vasher. Had help along with Michael Huff coming up from a strong safety position.
And let me tell you, see, that right there will make your secondary weak. When your safeties got to come up and get involved in the run game and at the same time think, wait a minute, we've got pass going on. You know, Clayton has burned them a couple times here. So your safeties are in that middle ground, that gray area of what to do. And that's when they get real susceptible to play action pass.
Secondary by Vasher coming up to slow him down.
Yeah, that's not a play you want to run against this Texas defense. We talked about the speed that Texas have. They're a little light, and so when you run to the perimeter, guess what? They're going to track you down and find you. And there's Corey Redding right there, the defensive end, who really has the speed of an outside linebacker. You get to see that on this play.
Tim,
what a delightful guy.
I think the first thing a fan at home says, wait a minute, anything in Texas is light, for crying out loud?
Everything Texas defense is light.
Yeah, I should correct that. Except for their 2 defensive tackles. They got a couple big hogs in the middle.
Tubbs and Wright.
They need to get to the 3 for a first down. LSU picks it up. Fired across the middle. The reception made by Jarrell Myers, but he's bottled up at the 11.
This is a beautiful tackle. Kool-Aid, because he's got the big smile, the Kool-Aid smile, and I guarantee you he's got a big Kool-Aid smile after this hit. Here's Clayton on the crossing route. He comes across the middle. Now Babers has got to stop him. Ronnie, that looked like you tackled.
Actually, that was a little bit better. He got his head across. I could never seem to do that.
27-yard field goal attempt, and it is good by John Corbello, the senior, out of Lafayette, Louisiana. He has not missed inside of 30 all year. What a drive for the Tigers, and they lead at the SBC Cotton Bowl 3-0.
What if SBC wasn't there to repair your phone service?
I'm not touching it. You do it.
How would the other companies take care of it? They don't have repair crews. About all they have are marketing people.
I am not going down in that hole.
If the telecommunications industry doesn't change, this could become a reality. And that's not funny. Your phone company, a real phone company. SBC.
Never pay interest. Plus no payments until 2004. Will anyone else ever offer a deal better than this? Never pay interest when you buy a new Mitsubishi. Plus make no payments until 2004. The fastest growing Japanese car company in America wants to grow faster than ever. It's the Mitsubishi year-end sales event. But hurry, this deal ends January 2nd.
Sweet cool.
New 5-star denim from Wrangler. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Professor Clump found a magic formula. Now he's half the man and twice the lover. Eddie Murphy is the Nutty Professor at 8/7 Central Fox Friday.
LSU on the opening drive gets a 27-yard field goal to take a 3-0 lead. Well, the Tiger and the Longhorn faithful up and at 'em early and ready to go tailgating this morning.
Hey, guys, I thought it was interesting what Nick Saban said about his team and their approach to this bowl game. He said this is not for this year, this is for next year. Even though it is next year, but, you know, they're talking about recruiting, and they didn't like the way they finished up the season. That was a big loss to Arkansas. Could have put them in the SEC championship game. This is a chance for identity here.
Short kick. Selvin Young, the freshman. They think he has a chance to be a star for the Longhorns in the future and brings it out to the 34. The final college game for the fourth-year senior out of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Chris Sims, of course, the son of former New York Giants star quarterback and Super Bowl MVP Phil Sims. 25-6 as a starter for the Longhorns. He's led them to back-to-back 10-win seasons. He's had his good days and his not-so-good days, and the not-so-good have come on this field.
Well, I think the not-so-good have toughened him mentally, and I think that's why he's going to be able to succeed at the next level.
Cedric Benson slips off the right side, and he's tackled out to the 37-yard line. Let's meet the rest of the Texas Longhorns. Offensively, Stone, Holloway, Glenn, Dockery, a first-team All-American, the right guard, 76. We'll watch him all day, and Jonathan Scott, the right tackle. Benson has rushed for nearly 900 yards. Ivan Williams was a tailback last year, moves to fullback. DJ Johnson and the spectacular split-in Roy Williams. We'll watch him all day long. Sims, his first throw, nope. Little shovel pass, and it didn't fool LSU. Marcus Spears read it beautifully. They call the LSU defense the James Gang, the 5th best defense in college football this year. You get a look up front. The linebacking core led by the name this defense is nicknamed after Brady James. Tim talked about him in the open. A first-team All-American and a first-team academic All-American. Hookfin and Gay, the corners. Lejeune and Hunt, the safeties. 3rd and 10.
Right now, Corey Webster is locked up man-to-man on one of the best receivers in college football.
Sims, the left-hander, fires. It's batted down. 3 and out for Texas.
And those are the kind of plays that LSU has to make. Chris Sims told us, I want to start this game off and play it close to the vest. Mainly because I'm not sure what Nick Saban is going to give me on his 3rd down packages. This time they throw to a guy that's double covered.
I got to tell you, Ronnie, on the backside of this play,
it was
Roy
Williams. You don't understand
that.
Yeah,
he's being covered man-to-man. Now, Corey Webster did a nice job of covering him, but Texas, if they get that matchup, they better start throwing the ball towards Williams.
It's all about the start for Chris Sims. When he struggles early, the team tends to struggle early.
One of the great punt returners in the country, Dominic Davis, waits, and he'll let it bounce by him. It's inside the 10 and down to 7. Good punt by Bradford, 58 yards. LSU will get it back in Dallas, Texas on this New Year's Day when we return.
Congratulations! You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job. Congratulations!
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by January 20th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Jim! Hey, Mikey. Here's our TV, 57-inch widescreen. Looks even better than last week.
Can we take it home this time?
Therein lies the problem, Peter. The minute we take it home, I'm going to see it on sale.
You know, with Circuit City's Price Match Plus, you don't have to worry about that.
Huh.
Don't worry, take it home. And right now at Circuit City, buy any big screen TV and get free delivery, guaranteed in time for the BCS Championship game. Circuit City, we're with you.
Our dad's idea of time on the road is different now. He signs more report cards than autographs and spends more time on our wardrobe and hair than his. Instead of people watching him play, he watches us play. But one thing hasn't changed. Every night, he plays to a full house.
Winston Cup champion Tony Stewart tries to conquer NASCAR's most legendary track. The race begins February 16th, only on Fox.
A great start for sophomore quarterback Marcus Randall. For more on him, let's go downstairs to Brian Walling.
Tom, you look on Marcus Randall, the quarterback's left wrist. He's got a play sheet on his wrist, and the plays are numbered. Because of the noise down here today, the coaching staff is just giving Marcus a number, and then he reads the number and the according play to his team, and it really is good with the communication down here right now. Well, Marcus Randall right now is a perfect 4 for 4 with 45 yards passing, and that enabled LSU to get that field goal.
They start from their own 7 this time. And they're throwing on first down. Swing it out of the backfield, a wide open Dominic Davis. And he crosses the 30-yard line.
Dominic Davis has been known as a rusher, a guy that can make you miss, as we talked about in the open, but I think it's very smart to take that guy and give him an extended handoff, and that's all that play is, Tim.
I am really impressed with the touch that Marcus Randall put on that pass. I mean, people talk about his arm strength, they talk about his inexperience. I mean, he is cool under pressure right now. He's 5 for 5, Ronnie. He's moving this offense right through the Longhorn D.
See the numbers on Randall, perfect for 72 yards. Out of the shotgun, hands it off for the first time to LeBrandon Tofield. And he picks up maybe a yard. Stopped there by Corey Redding.
Great play by Corey Redding.
I love to watch Corey Redding work. And he just works so hard. You know, we've seen guys that talk about, hey, you know, my mom, I love my mom. This guy just glows when he talks about his mom, Mary. Watch him right here. Watch him work right around the edge. He busts right through the line of scrimmage, and he's got great body control. So he gets upfield, but he still has the control where he can lean inside and make that tackle.
Second down and 8, little delay. As Tofield gets it again, and again it's Corey Redding, first team All-American.
You know, this is a part of Carl Reese, the Texas defensive coordinator's plan. It's called the spin-down theory. And he takes faster guys from different positions, and he puts them in new positions where they can get the advantage in terms of speed. And you look at Redding, he was a linebacker in high school. He came here playing some linebacker, so Reese said, let me put you a defensive end spot. You're going to be quicker than most tackles and can beat them inside and make plays like this.
Boy, was he a great kid talking with him 2 days ago.
He's the guy you just wanted to take him home with you.
Derek Johnson's actually the one who came in and made that initial hit.
Third down. Randall escapes trouble. Takes it himself, and he stops shy of the first down to the 39-yard line. Run out of bounds by Lee Jackson. So 3 and out this time for LSU after the long pass to begin this drive.
And this is against Texas.
Flag is 25 yards down the field.
Talk about big penalties. They keep drives going, and that's exactly the kind of thing that LSU needs early in this game.
What a job Mac Brown has done here.
After the play, personal foul. Defense, 15 yards, previous spot, automatic first down.
For those of you that don't know the college game, they don't tell you who did it, but our cameras do know.
And that's Takari Pearson. There's no reason for that. I mean, that's an old Jack Tatum shot there.
I like
those guys like
you know
to
what,
talk.
though? I like the way Michael Clayton reacted.
Yeah, I do too.
You see, he gets up and he said, "Hey, you know what? You got me." And he didn't react by taking a cheap shot of his own, and that really kept this LSU drive going. Great control by Clayton.
Mac Brown didn't like the way he reacted, though. He gave Pearson an earful.
He was immediately yanked out of the game.
Well, he didn't
and
like
the
the way
redshirt
Pearson
freshman Kendall Briles, number 5, came on.
Well, nothing so far is going right for Texas. I mean, LSU takes the opening kick. They drive right down the field. They come up with 3 points. And then Texas's offense goes 3 and out.
Yeah, right. Look how long the Texas defense has been on the field already. We're more than midway through the first quarter.
Setback, Solomon Lee. Screen. And a screen, and the ball dropped by Dominic Davis.
And that play has been very successful for LSU. And they run it to a different guy, a guy named Skylar Green, who comes off the bench, who can fly. They had a big play, a 72-yard touchdown against Arkansas. But that time, Davis just has to hold on to the ball.
Well, you know what? He saw what I saw, which was a big lane to take off through. If he catches that ball, Ronnie, he's got a big running lane right through the middle of the field, and he just took his eyes off the ball and started out down the lane.
And that graphic there shows you the slow start from Texas. LSU just jumping all over him in terms of yards.
Well, you had too many letters in there. You said slow. It's no offense from Texas. Randall, a terrific athlete, rolls away from trouble. He'll keep it himself and gets to the first down. Or did he? He may have stepped out of bounds a yard shy of the 36-yard line, depending on where they spot him. I'm not sure he got there.
You know, this is beginning to remind me a little bit of a quarterback who plays for the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, well, that's the kind of stuff I've watched Michael Vick do all season long. Get pressure, spin out of the pocket.
But Tim, he did not get to the first down mark.
No, he did. And that's inexperience. Like we said, that's a redshirt sophomore starting this year for the first time.
And that, look who's the guy who forces him, though. Instead of criticize Randall, I'd rather credit Corey Redding, who came from the opposite side of the field to knock him out of bounds. They're going to go for it.
LSU 9 of 15 this year on 4th down conversions. And we'll see. Very, very close.
You know, we've seen some crazy marks or spots in the NFL this year. From here, it looks like he made it. Yeah, he did.
And that right there was an example of Cofield, a big physical back, running over a Texas defender who's really a cornerback-sized guy playing safety.
And I think that's a great decision, maybe a no-brainer by Saban. You know, he feels they come in here with a little bit of a short stick, at least from a notoriety standpoint. Hey, there's nothing to lose by not going for that.
Saban's won his last 2 bowl games with upsets.
I know.
So this is nothing new to LSU.
Play fake, and Randall rolling right, looking down the field. He'll hang on to it. Gets wrapped up in a spun down at the 33-yard line. Maybe a gain of 3. Derek Johnson, a sophomore, who they believe is going to be one of the all-time greats at linebacker for Texas, wrestles him down.
Derek Johnson, you talk to a lot of the NFL scouts, and he's one of those guys that he represents the nastiness that you want on your defense. You know, Tim, you got to have one guy like this, an enforcer, so to speak, that'll do a lot of damage. It'll be very physical and intimidate people, and that's what he is for this defense.
Yeah, he gets his hips low, and he gives you a snap when he hits.
Having a hard time finding running room. Not much so far from LeBrandon Tofio. We brought up earlier, he broke his left arm and was out for 6 weeks this season. I tell you, when this guy is healthy, he is some kind of player. Has rushed for over 2,000 yards in fewer than 19 starts.
And that's a key thing, because LSU's pass game depends a lot on their ability to play action. The sooner they get that going, they're going to have more success throwing the football. Now, they came out throwing it pretty darn good.
You'd have to have an angel on your side to have more success. Their passing game has been outstanding.
Clayton in motion on a 3rd and 6.
There it is again.
But Clayton inside the 20 to the tight end Eric Edwards, but the penalty flag is down in the LSU backfield. We'll see.
And Edwards is down too.
I don't know if this is going to come back, but Marcus Randall is impressing me not only with his throwing ability, but the decisions he's making and where he's throwing the ball.
Penalty will go against the Tigers, so it will indeed come back and bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah. Offense. Repeat 3rd down.
Tim, we looked at Marcus Randall on tape a lot this week, and there was a couple games where we weren't quite sure what we were going to get today. He looked unsure of himself a few times, threw some balls that skipped to receivers, but boy, we're not seeing that guy today.
Well, this is a guy who got hurt in spring practice, hurt his knee, so he missed a lot of development there. He wasn't the starter for the first half of the season, so he is continuing to evolve.
3rd and 11, they need to get to the 25. Randall under pressure, the ball is loose, and Texas has it. Lee Jackson will go all the way, touchdown Longhorn. Redding knocked it loose, and Jackson cashes in.
We have seen Corey Redding all over this football field today.
Yeah, there's no substitute for pure speed around the corner. This is something that every NFL team wants, is a guy that can be an edge rusher and get heat on the quarterback. You affect the quarterback, you affect the football game.
So all of a sudden, a game that was lopsided in favor of LSU goes back to Texas on one big defensive play by Corey Redding.
Dusty Mangum with the extra point. An LSU turnover caused by Redding, and Jackson races the other way to Pater.
X, buy it on DVD.
Dangerous, uncivilized.
I love his attitude. From the director of The Fast and the Furious. Let's take this to the next level. The ultimate extreme DVD. Packed with special features. I live for this. Vin Diesel is X. Buy it now on DVD. Original. Authentic. Powerful. Now, the next big thing from Nissan, our national year-end event. 0.9% APR financing on most new Nissans. So, what's next? Just the end date. 0.9% ends January 6th.
Still doing those bills, hon?
Just resting with a credit card balance.
You've been feeding on those high interest rates.
I just switched our balance over to a Capital One no-hassle card. We're going to save $500 a year.
$500?
Switch your high-interest balance to the Capital One no-hassle card for the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates. You could save up to $500 a year.
What's in your wallet?
Texas getting a 46-yard fumble recovery return for a touchdown by Jackson. And in a game, as Tim mentioned a moment ago, completely, thoroughly dominated by LSU. They're on the short end of a 7-3 game.
You know what I think was big there on that drive is the penalty, because that pushed LSU back, and they were looking at a 3rd and 11, and I think Randall, he had to hold the ball. He had to feel like he had to push the ball downfield instead of maybe, you know, throwing it away. You got a shot at a field goal. Well, they were pretty close.
I think the mistake, Ronnie, was, you know, they knew that Corey Redding was going to be a handful, and I think they need to give their tackles some help.
Dominic Davis from the 3. And a penalty flag comes flying in from midfield.
That was a heck of a toss.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's major hang time on that flag. Holding against the Tigers.
Holding during the return, 10 yards into the run, first down.
3:40 to play, opening quarter here at the 67th annual SBC Cotton Bowl Classic. 7-3 Texas.
My new baby's name is Max. He's waking up about now. My business partner's name is Joe.
This has everything you're looking for.
I see him more than I see Max. It's also my birthday. And I wouldn't mind working from home today.
Free double memory on select notebooks only at your Gateway store. Gateway 400 SP notebook PCs feature Intel Pentium 4 processors.
Hey, you call that playing? I can play better with my elbows.
Tone deaf, tone deaf, tone deaf. Pick a key. Take her home, Mom, with that. Get her out of here, Mom. Take 5, take 10.
The 7-layer nachos from Taco Bell. So much flavor for so little price, you may perform the 7-flavor tango.
I don't think so.
Get all the flavor of 7 Intense taste stacked on golden chips. At just 99 cents, they're a value. Down to the very last bite.
Look, there's 2 left.
To get more flavor for 99 cents, think outside the bun.
The SBC Cotton Bowl Classic on Fox is brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. We hear so much about it during the regular season. We never have a chance to do college football until this Cotton Bowl, but the color, the pageantry, the enthusiasm is just terrific. LSU offensively back on the field, and LeBrandon Tofield slips across the 15 out to the 17, tripped up by Roderick Wright, the freshman out of Houston.
I think this is a good chance now to see what Marcus Randall can do with this offense. How much of a leader can he be? You know, they go from being in control of everything to all of a sudden one play and they're down. And they're killing Texas in terms of time of possession. They have held the ball the entire game. But he's going to have to put a drive here.
Texas still without a single yard on offense. Not one. Stay on the ground. A big hole for Tofield. A first down out to the 29. Well, Conrad Pearson the tackle.
Tofield gets an excellent hold from his offensive line. Watch him take this, and again, it's right at the Texas defense. Look at that hole. Opens up beautifully, then the power takes over, and he knocks the defensive backs around like bowling pins.
Easy on those DBs now. You know, Tofield was the guy. He was the starter in the beginning of the year. He broke his arm, went out for 4 weeks, and luckily they had Davis, but they think Tofield is the better of the two backs.
Play fake to Tofield this time. Randall rolling right, looking down the field. He'll take it himself and picks up close to 8 yards. For more on the injury a moment ago to Eric Edwards, let's go downstairs to Brian Baldinger.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, Eric Edwards has a left knee sprain. They've taken him into the locker room. They're going to fit him with the brace. They think he's going to be all right, and he should return later on in the game.
Kendall Briles delivering that hit. That was a play after Pearson had been yanked out of the game by head coach Mac Brown following that personal foul that allowed LSU's drive to continue. Second and a yard. Not sure Tofield made it. Terrific tackle coming up from a strong safety position by Michael Huff.
And that's a great example of how you use your strong safety to get an extra man in the box. That time Huff came up and he timed it perfectly. They showed cover 2, which means 2 deep safeties, and you keep 5 underneath. But watch right here. At the last second, he comes up, and that's where he's got to fit. You're counting on that man as a defensive coordinator to make that tackle. That's the one man that the offense can't pick up, and he makes a great play.
Third and a foot. And again, not sure if Tofield was able to get there. Derek Johnson came up to chop him down. Depending on the spot here as to whether or not this Tiger drive will continue. It is a first down. Talked about Mac Brown. What a job he has done since coming to Texas. This is his 5th season. 48 wins, 15 losses over the last 2 years. The only 2 teams that have won more games in college football, Miami and Oklahoma.
Mac said it was really important for his team to win this game so that this class of seniors would go out as winners and people would realize that they were responsible for bringing this Texas program back.
Wide open downfield again. It's Michael Clayton, and he beat Vasher.
I tell you what, he beat Vasher, but you can't throw the ball any better than Marcus Randall does on this play right here. That ball was dropped in there perfectly, and Randall took a shot after he threw it.
And the thing Clayton does is he works well across the field. He recognizes man or zone, and he knows he's got to keep running away from Vasher. And I'm surprised Vasher just looked like he expected help. Or there was some confusion in the secondary. That didn't look right.
See how perfectly that ball was laid in there, though?
I had one general manager earlier this week tell me that Clayton, when it's all said and done, he will be as good as, if not better, than Eric Moulds up in Buffalo. That's quite a compliment.
Clayton, only a sophomore, had 51 receptions during the season. This time they go to Skylar Green. We talked about getting the ball in his hands. And he's down to the 35. Close to another first down.
Skylar Green, a true freshman. He didn't play in 6 games this year, but I tell you one thing, when you line up on this kid, you better have your track shoes on because he can go. And once again, LSU has come down the field. We talked about, will Randall be able to respond to that big play? And he has. They're right down the field again. And has anybody seen Chris Sims? Is he still in the building?
Well, they were only out 3 plays, but, you know, Nick Saban told us if Marcus Randall plays well, we're going to be in this ball game. And Marcus Randall is playing extremely well, and LSU, although they're down, is very much in this ball game.
LSU spending its first time out here in the first half. While we have a moment, we'd like to remind you it's back to the NFL this Sunday. The second season begins with round 1 of the NFL playoffs. Gary Collins and the New York Giants Visit 3Com Park in San Francisco to battle the 49ers. Coverage of the NFC wildcard playoff begins Sunday 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, only on Fox Sports. All right, you guys have seen the NFL all year long. I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Thank you.
Who do you like in the NFC, and who do you like in the AFC?
I like the Giants in that game right there because they are on a roll. 7-2 since Jim Fossil knew his job was on the line. He took over the play calling. Giants are very hot right now, and I think they go into San Francisco and win that game, right?
Yeah, you know, I think they do too. They're just playing so well. And as you say, ever since Fossil took over the play calling, it's been a different situation. And they're one of those teams that, you know, if you're going to do well in the postseason, you have to start playing well from the middle of December on in.
That's
and stay healthy.
You know who I like in the whole NFL? And I'm not saying it just because we're down here south of the Mason-Dixon line. I like the Tennessee Titans. They have won 10 out of their last 11. They are on a roll.
Yep.
What a year for Steve McNair. Of course, doesn't even practice during the week, and then when that red light comes on, he is at his best. Randall trying to add another 95 yards of passing, and he'll just hang on to it. Very wise decision-making by Marcus Randall, but he is limping.
He's hurt.
As he crosses.
Looks like he's going to walk it off.
Maybe a cramp?
I don't know. Reed Boyd gave him a shot. He may have given him a cramp.
I think he's all right. And that might be Texas's best shot because Randall, when he gets out of the pocket, I mean, he's killing him on defense.
Looks like you got our cameraman.
You got to stay low on the sideline.
Boyd knocked out the quarterback and the camera.
Got to bend your knees and stay low. Keep your head on the swivel down there. Even if you just got a handheld. Blitz.
Tackled after maybe a gain or two. Again, Roderick Wright, another freshman. Boy, they have so many youngsters for this Texas team that are getting a chance to play in either their true freshman year or as a redshirt freshman.
Well, he's one of those guys, Tommy. We talked about Texas being a lighter, faster defense, built for speed, man-to-man coverage, you know, shooting the gaps. But Roderick Wright he's one of the big guys. I mean, he is 320 pounds, and as you said, he's just a freshman. A huge upside and a huge grocery bill.
His Uncle Elmo, a fabulous wide receiver at the University of Houston, their all-time leader in receiving yards and touchdowns. Randall, wide open. Tofi, touchdown. Texas didn't find it. Point after good, 10-7 LSU, and they are just wearing out this Texas defense, minus the one big turnover.
Well, Brandon Tofield does double duty on this play here because, first of all, he helps with the protection. Watch him here, and he gets a little bit of a chip on Corey Redding. I mean, remember, Redding on the last third down situation here is the guy who comes up with the sack and the fumble. And then he turns around. So after he kind of knocks Redding off, he turns around and makes his tackle. Watch it right here. Just gives him enough just to keep Redding outside and out of the quarterback's face.
And Marcus Randall is just having a day. 7 for 8, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. And I got to give some credit, guys, to Jimbo Fisher, the LSU offensive coordinator. You know, I talked to him briefly yesterday at the luncheon. He says, I'm going to have something special for this Texas team that nobody really knows about. I think what that is he's spreading them out. And he's getting Marcus Randall out of the pocket. A lot of formations, and he's using the backs in different ways outside of just I-formation pound football.
Everyone thought that LSU was going to have to pound the ball at this lighter Texas D. Now, they've done that, but, Ronnie, as you said, they've also thrown the ball extremely well, and I don't think anyone could have predicted that Marcus Randall would play this well.
Absolutely.
Shot Young hammered at the 25-yard line.
And if LSU didn't believe they could come in here and beat Texas, they do now. And the longer this game stays close, it's going to be harder and harder for the Longhorns.
Schofield the touchdown. Ryan O'Neal delivered that smashing hit a moment ago into the first quarter. 10-7 LSU.
A hurricane doesn't care. A tornado doesn't care. When it comes to your company's critical data, your internet service, or how long you'll be without a phone, Mother Nature simply doesn't care. But a lot of people do. Around 190,000 of them work for us. The customer, that's who we answer to. Infinite Service, SBC.
Breakthrough.
Now there's support for students who are often overlooked, the kids of hard-working Americans. Introducing Education is Freedom, because the American dream starts with education. Stop by 7-Eleven today and join us in contributing to the dream.
Using HP mobile technology to get information quickly and easily, the world's police forces now fight crime digitally.
The SBC Cotton Bowl Classic on Fox is brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention. By HP. HP Technology Services and People help make more things more possible. By Dr. Pepper. And your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. And by Wrangler. Real comfortable jeans.
For a while there, it looked like Michael Clayton was going to stay and play a little defense.
Well, they had him out there, and if Texas had come out with 3 wides, he was going to play. He's got 4 catches for 67 yards on offense.
And Chris Sims' arm has to be cold by now. All the time he's been on the bench.
A grand total of 3 offensive plays for the Longhorns in the entire first quarter. They begin the second quarter with a big-time run by Cedric Benson. Chopped down by Jack Hunt out to the 38-yard line, first down.
I think it's a big-time run, not only because he gets a first down, but what he does to Jack Hunt. He's got a little something for Jack Hunt.
Everybody's got a little something for Jack Hunt. Jack Hunt is a guy that came in and replaced Damian James, who was suspended early in the year. And he's going through his times back there at free safety. In fact, the Longhorns think sooner or later they can get one on him.
Well, I like the way Jack Hunt throws himself around.
He got in there.
He's not gonna let you know he's not out there to hit.
Benson will do it again and finds a small hole, brings it out to the 44-yard line. Benson, a 2 sports star. Drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers in last year's baseball draft in the 12th round, played in Rookie League at Vero Beach last summer. And a big decision for him during this upcoming offseason. Mac Brown wants him to be a football player. He says, no. I'm not really saying that, but you got that feeling.
Well, he said he could play baseball, but he's got to come back. He's got to also do the weight training, and if he's going to play the baseball at the same time.
Yeah, he lightened up a little bit. Didn't keep as much of that muscle mass on him as Mac Brown would have liked.
And then he just fell down there on a second down carry, losing a half yard. I mean, you're talking about an electrifying runner. When healthy is Benson, the 3-time 5A Texas High School Offensive Player of the Year. Rushed for 8,400 yards, 127 touchdowns in high school.
They know who he is in the state of Texas.
Michael Clayton is out now, playing defense. We said just a moment ago he's already got 4 catches, 67 yards on offense.
Sims just like that, the Texas offense off the field. They had the big carry by Benson. The next 3 plays, back to the sideline.
And I know what Matt Brown tried to do there. He came out, tried to put the ball on the ground to settle everyone down. 10-7, you can stay in your game plan. But those 3 and outs are going to make him change his game plan real fast.
We have talked about Sims here and his play in this Cotton Bowl stadium. Was never able to beat Oklahoma. In fact, had 2 of his worst games ever against the Sooners on this field. And then the other big game they talk about here in Texas, the Big 12 championship game last year.
There's a light in your soul that says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, yeah, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Nothing better. Be you, do what you do.
For the most up-to-the-minute insight on all your favorite SEC teams, log on to SECSports.com. It's all there. Stats, standings, schedules, scores, rankings, records, and more. You can listen to weekly coaches' press conferences and watch real-time coverage of SEC championships. Get closer to the action than ever before with an exclusive free subscription to the SEC Insider and instantly access SECStore.com to gear up with all your favorite SEC team merchandise. So if you're into it, then get into it at SECSports.com.
In L.A., everyone's trying to be something they're not.
I lie. That's what I do for a living.
But when you're deep undercover...
Who are you guys? The real deal.
The last thing you want is for someone to find out who you really are.
You don't show fear, need, loyalty, or love. Ever.
Fastlane moves to Fridays.
They always like that?
Yeah, it usually ends in some juvenile physical contest to see who wins the argument. See?
Followed by an all-new John Doe beginning January 10th on Fox.
How does paper beat rock? That's the way it is, man. Just accept it.
To all those women looking for Prince Charming, in 5 days, be careful what you wish for. Joe Millionaire premieres at 9, 8 Central, Fox, Monday.
When you're talking football in Texas, nothing is bigger. Some would say it's bigger than religion. Of course, that's being a little overboard. But for Chris Sims, the scrutiny he's come under, we talked about last season, 4 interceptions in the Oklahoma game here, 3 in the Big 12 championship game, and then another loss and 3 interceptions this year to the Sooners.
I think right now the biggest thing he has to fear is, fear itself. Not to quote a great man, but he just needs to be calm and patient because they're still very much in this football game. They've got nothing going, but he still has a high-powered offense, and if he just settles down, they can get right back into it.
Collision as both defensive back and wide receiver went down. No penalty flag. Jarrell Myers saying, "You've got to be kidding." He got tangled up with Rod Babers.
Myers was trying to take Babers on that post corner route. Take him all the way to the sidelines and about 20 yards deep. There they are right there. And you know what? Babers does reach out and grab him. He got away with one. There is a DB guy out there. Trust me.
You get arrested for that outside the stadium. Little quarterback draw, and Randall can run.
Here comes the speed.
All the way down to the 15. Vasher ran him down.
And Randall's ankle obviously still bothering him. I don't know if he would have made that, John, or not. 75 big ones.
Well, and it was a great run by Randall, an excellent speed, but watch the design of this play, and look at this whole blocking open up. Look at the blocking downfield. It's fabulous play by LSU. Good play by the offensive line, and that nice speed.
And that's amazing because he runs away from Dakari Pearson, who I know can run. And if it's not for Vasher, Randall will go into going for the touchdown.
75-yard run. Now they come back to Dominic Davis, and he is wrapped up in the 10 by Reed Boyd. the Longhorns' leading tackler.
The thing I worry about now for Randall is his ankle or knee or whatever's bothering him, because that's twice now he's come up limping on that leg. And as we pointed out earlier,
that doesn't look like a very good tape job either. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a low tape. Seriously, that's a low tape job on his ankle.
That's not a very good time of possession job by the Longhorns.
Well, look at the yard.
I'll be surprised if you don't see him go getting some more tape on one of those ankles. Something more to fear than fear. He's got this LSU offense.
And that time they mashed on him. They used the big guys up front, and they just went right up the middle.
How about the run by Dominic Davis? He's supposed to be their quick guy. He blasts through the Texas defense for the lead.
Like any big outfit, SBC's got all kinds of people doing all kinds of jobs. Whether they're wearing a tool belt and a hard hat or a shirt and tie, our nearly 170,000 employees, many of them third generation, are just working people, paying their taxes, helping out in their community, and working their tails off, just so you can get on the phone and ask what's for dinner. Or get on the internet and say, ship 5,000 widgets to my warehouse. Now, we know most people take the old dial tone for granted. But we don't. We can't. Ordinary people. Extraordinary job. Infinite character. SBC.
Care about the things they make. After all, it's their business. What we care about is what a company is made of. That's our business. That's why companies that list on the New York Stock Exchange must have the integrity to meet the highest standards in the world, and why the world puts its stock in us.
The SBC Cotton Bowl Classic on Fox is brought to you by SBC. Ordinary people, extraordinary job. What a surprise so far, Ron, here and Tim, in the first quarter and 3+ minutes of the Cotton Bowl.
And, you know, at first you might have thought, well, LSU they had a nice couple breaks there, started out easy, and, you know, it's not much of a game right now, but I got to tell you, they're pouring it on. They're putting together drives. They were in the hole there after the big touchdown on the hit by Redding, and they're doing everything a team has to do.
Well, except for that Corey Redding forced fumble and the Lee Jackson touchdown, Texas has looked almost asleep. This has turned into the SBC Marcus Randall Cotton Bowl.
Ivan Williams still on his feet and is finally knocked out of bounds all the way out of the 37-yard line. Nick Saban. His team had its ups and downs this season, winding up 8-4. It was a tough year with injuries and a suspension to Damian James, but he felt this was a great honor and a big game for his program to come to the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, it's great for the program anytime you get a New Year's Day bowl game, and we're very pleased that this is the first time in a long time that LSU's been able to get in back-to-back New Year's Day bowl games, and we don't have any players on our team who have lost a bowl game. We've been able to win 2 in a row, and this is certainly a large test for us, though, against the University of Texas in the Cotton Bowl.
First down throw by Sims, and the catch is made by the freshman tight end David Thomas, close to midfield. Big play right there, and a much-needed play for Sims and the Longhorns.
Right, Chris Sims gets outside the pocket, where he can see the field, things open up. He's got a wide open receiver, nice easy ball, and that's just what he needs. You're right, Tom. He needs to just settle down, play his game, because don't forget, this is still the Texas offense. They've got a lot of firepower.
23-yard gain out to the 49. There's Williams. There's Williams. One man to beat. Touchdown, Texas.
Corey Webster got beat one-on-one. He missed the jam. And when you're a cornerback, if you're up there to jam, you've got to get it. It is your weapon.
Well, Ronnie, we talked about the importance of having two guys on Roy Williams. This time, there's only one. And once he gets past Corey Webster, it's all over. You talk about high-powered, Texas right back in it, and a great throw by Chris Sims.
And that's what we were talking about in the open with Williams, the downfield long strider. He's deceptive, but he's also got the great quickness, and he showed it there against Webster.
Dusty Mangum, the point after. So Chris Sims finding his favorite target and saying to the LSU defense, hey, I'm ready to go.
Mr. Stevens? Yeah. Got you down for over 130 channels, $39.99 a month. Right. So every channel's digital quality. There's access to 31 premium movie channels, 60 pay-per-view movie titles a month.
Great. So they can go on the back of the roof?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good. So go ahead and pull around back.
You work for the cable company, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why settle for cable? Get a 2-room DirecTV system with installation for under $50.
Tiki, Mom's gonna love these.
Hi.
Hey, take a check?
I'm just gonna need some ID. Okay. How do I know this is you? Because it looks just like him.
But it's me.
Okay. But it looks like him. This says that you were born...
1975.
Okay. But it could still be him.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
So, are you guys related?
Hear ye, Black Knight's in town.
I'm calling you out.
I think you're crazy.
Do you know what we call bikers in the ER? Organ donors.
You ain't got the heart to be king of Cali. I can see that in your eyes.
Look again.
Lawrence Fishburne, Derek Lou, and Kid Rock. Biker Boys, rated PG-13, starts January 31st.
Two-time first-team All-Big 12 performer Roy Williams, who had 60 receptions for an even 1,000 yards, battled through so many injuries this year. But I think everyone was shocked when he made the decision to come back for his senior year, because many believe he's an early first-round pick right now.
I'd take him early in the first round.
Yeah, he is. He is right now. And what's more surprising about that is he won't have Chris Sims next year. You have to ask yourself, who's going to be throwing to me? Do I have that confidence?
Sharon Carey taking the kickoff, still on his feet, has broken a couple of tackles and out to the 32-yard line. Carey, an exciting sophomore.
Let's go back and look at that touchdown by Williams. As a cornerback, you can never do one thing when you're in bump and run, and that's crossover. Watch Webster right there. As soon as you do that, you are done, especially when you don't have help inside. The safeties were up for the run. It's blitz coverage. You have no help inside. You've got to protect your inside.
And if you watch Chris Sims' eyes, he sees right from the get-go that he's got man-to-man coverage, and he knows that Roy Williams is going to separate himself. He does.
Quarterbacks are taught to look for color separation, and that was a big separation right off the bat.
See if Randall can answer. Swings it to Tofield, who cuts back to the inside, and he's out to the 44. Another LSU first down.
You know, right now, LSU is giving Texas everything they can handle. That was a big play there by Chris Sims and Williams, but right off the bat, here comes LSU and a big pickup.
Ronnie, you talked about the changeup, and I think this is the changeup we're seeing from the LSU offense, are these passes to the perimeter, getting Tofield, getting Dominic Davis out on the perimeter, the little dump passes to let them do their work against those Texas DBs.
Running backs that were supposed to stay inside and run the football from an I formation.
Which is what they do this time from Tofield. Derek Johnson.
This is the pressure defense that we talked about. Everyone gets upfield, everyone gets in a gap. So you're not just playing on the line of scrimmage, you're playing behind the line of scrimmage. And that's beautiful defense right there. Take on the blocker, up underneath, and make the tackle.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Short drop and the slant. Did he catch the ball? Yes. Catch made by Jarrell Myers out close to midfield. It'll bring up 3rd and about 4.
Well, that's an outstanding catch by Jarrell Myers. That ball is definitely low. He's skipping it in there, and somehow Myers comes up with it. Watch here, they're just trying to throw the quick slant. Let's see if this ball hits the ground. No, that's a great catch. You know, they talk about concentration and focus and catching the ball in the jugs machine during the week. That's just a great example of keeping your eyes on the ball.
All right, 3rd down for Randall. Wide open and dropped by the tight end, Eric Edwards, who left with an injured knee earlier in the game. And you see Randall still limping a little bit.
Yeah, they got to tape that ankle up better than it is. But this is a nice touch pass. Edwards just took his eyes off him.
Edwards only caught 6 passes the entire year. And now for the first time, Donnie Jones set to partially block him. Either that or off the side of his foot. It's going to turn out A-OK, however, for LSU. Pins him inside the 10-yard line all the way down to the 9. So Sims and company will come back out. It's been the Marcus Randall show so far. 17-14 Tigers.
Dave. Larry. How is that Dell consolidation going? TCO's down. Uptime? Highly available. Great. And you? You know, we're still running a proprietary Unix-based system. Right.
Yeah. A Dell flexible solution with Dell PowerEdge servers and Intel Xeon processors can help manage your enterprise for less. Easy as Dell. Call or go online today.
Congratulations! You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by January 20th.
You are now free to move about the country.
After Sunday's wild card game, what are you going to do?
We're going to Disney World.
The Simpsons are taking the vacation every family dreams of.
It's so beautiful.
And the memories will be priceless.
One churro, please.
That'll be $14.
The Simpsons, all new at 8/7 Central, Fox Sunday.
Introducing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Covering the entire world of action sports. Nightly.
LSU's late great head coach Charles McClendon made his postseason debut in the 1963 Cotton Bowl Classic, and the Tigers rewarded him with a shutout of previously unbeaten Texas. Then 3 years later, the Tigers upset second-ranked Arkansas behind bruising halfback Joe LaBruzzo. LSU has never lost here in the Cotton Bowl Classic. 2-0-1 all-time. They're one tie to Arkansas. A scoreless game during that ice storm back in 1947.
Last year, LSU beat Illinois in the Sugar Bowl. Year before, they beat Georgia Tech in the Peach Bowl. Both of those games upsets.
And on first down, Texas will start on the ground. The Longhorns struck quickly their last offensive series on a touchdown pass from Sims to Williams. Get a look at what Chris Sims and company have done so far. You know, we will talk a great deal about Sims and about his college career throughout the game here today. The bottom line is he's 25-6 as a starter. That's the bottom line, and only 2 quarterbacks have won more games as a Longhorn quarterback, Bobby Lane and Marty Aiken.
And those first 2 series that were 3 and out didn't upset him at all. Came right back with beautiful touchdowns.
Big hit delivered on Young.
And look at that. That's Clayton. Now, there you go. You know, that's why a lot of the scouts in the NFL can't wait for Clayton to come out. You talk about versatile players. The guy comes out in the beginning of the game and catches the first 2 or 3 balls, and now he's coming down the pipe making big hits.
Tell you the one guy, though, they'll be watching in the national championship game. 2-way player, starts both ways, plays every play. Chris Gamble of Ohio State.
Thing is, if you can do that playing on defense, you know as a receiver you got a physical guy that'll go up and rip the ball away from the defensive backfield.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing to me, though. There's a lot going on back there in your head as a safety.
Sims threw it too hard for his tight end, Brock Edwards.
You know, you just can't line up back there. There's guys that play back there for 4 years straight, and when it's all said and done, they're still not good enough to go pro. Clayton can do it on the receiver standpoint, stand by, and then go back here and play defensive back.
Well,
yes,
hey, Ronnie, how many receivers did you play against that could have gone and played defense and make a hit like we saw Clayton make on that last play? Yeah.
And now he's got to learn a whole new set of adjustments back there. He's got to line up the defense.
2nd and 10, inside handoff. Goes to Benson and read beautifully by Brady James. First time we've called his name, the first-team All-American. And Tim, like yourself, coming out of Syracuse, a National Scholar athlete.
Well, Brady James competes on the field and he competes off the field. Look at his eyes right there and watch him sort that thing out. And Tommy, he studies hours and hours of film, and he said, look, Nick Saban's the guy, he taught me how to study film, he taught me how to learn tendencies, and you better believe that that skill will carry right over into the National Football League.
Big 3rd down play for Texas. And now flag is thrown. The play clock may have expired on Chris Sims.
Well, this is the situation Texas wanted to keep Chris Sims out of. 3rd and long, and you know the blitz is coming.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I wonder if that wasn't against Roy Williams. It was right in front of the official who dropped the flag right at his feet.
Well, that's exactly what Corey Webster was pointing to. He pointed to Roy Williams. Check it out here. There it is. LSU now, they got smart after that big burn on the touchdown by Williams. They're disguising the coverages, trying to show Sims one coverage and at the last minute come down to something else.
Instead of 3rd and 8, 3rd and 13 now for Sims. Throws and overthrows his intended receiver, B.J. Johnson. So with a chance to recapture, if you will, the momentum of this game, Texas will head to the sideline and punt it away.
And it's a good thing for LSU that Sims didn't look backside because Williams shook Webster again.
Well, I think it's a mistake by Texas not to look backside because this guy, we can't say enough about how talented he is as a receiver. And I just think you're in a critical situation, you got to go to your money.
You're absolutely right, Tom.
Punted straight up in the air. This might not go 10 yards.
I do believe Bevo could punt that ball better.
Well, we know one thing. Bevo would have a little more beef behind it. Look at the old boy. Head hanging a little low early on. They're down 3.
First reconfigurable luxury SUV.
5-star denim from Wrangler. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Holiday bills arrived? KFC can help with amazing savings on original recipe chicken. For a limited time, get a 7-piece bucket of legs and thighs for only $5 or a 14-piece bucket of legs and thighs for only $10. Enjoy America's favorite chicken today.
The television phenomenon of the year returns with even more talent.
What's going on? What's going on?
Even more emotion.
I didn't think it was that bad.
And even more Simon.
It was like some noise, like a whale would make.
The next American Idol. Be there from the first note to the final vote. Premieres Tuesday, January 21st on Fox.
The big news this television season is that America's #1 pregame show is taking its act of prime time. You heard that right. Saturday, January 18th. It's Fox NFL Saturday Night. JB, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, along with Jillian and Jimmy Kimmel, grab the spotlight for what promises to be one of TV's more entertaining hours. Fox NFL Saturday Night, January 18th, 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, only on Fox.
You know, we joke about the punt, but the bottom line is, look at the great field position once again for LSU.
And they've already had drives of the Tigers of 87 and 90 yards in this game. Don't have to go that far here. They swing it out to the right side, and a cut back down to the 25 is Skylar Green.
Boy, you have to be impressed with Marcus Randall's cool. Texas lined up. They showed the blitz. He knew they were coming off the play side. And he just hung in there and lofted it right over the blitzer's head.
You know, guys, we talked about this watching film the last couple of days. I am shocked at how good this LSU offense has played so far in this game. Well, you agree? You guys know a lot more about it than I do.
It's because of Marcus Randall. I mean, you don't have to go any further than that.
No. You know, he's got the arm, and he's got the size, but he's got the mobility to tie it all together. He's got a flag out.
Able to slow down Davis. And then he's tripped up. Penalty flags on the field.
Dominic Davis. Derek Johnson credited with the tackle.
Waiting on Gerald Wright, our referee.
Legal motion. It's decline. Third down.
Marcus Randall, only a sophomore. I mean, he is staking his claim right now, saying, hey, when we come back next year in the spring and in the fall, I plan on being the starting quarterback.
Consistent with what Nick Saban talked about, what this game means to them. This is about next year and our future.
Third down. Waits on his receiver. Was the catch made by Clayton or not?
I'm saying yes.
Yes is the call. First down, LSU to the 20.
I'll tell you what, I have seen this week Michael Clayton make some beautiful catches on film. Look at this. None better than that. That ball is thrown behind him and low.
He caught it with one hand.
Watch it. Here he comes. He's going to run just this little slant to the inside. There's a small window, and I'll tell you what, you talk about Marcus Randall and solidifying himself in the quarterback position. When you got receivers that make those kind of catches, it makes it a lot easier to be solid.
And hey, kudos to the officiating crew. That's the second tough call they've had to make them both up right on the nose. Davis will get it. Maybe gained a yard, wrapped up by Adam Dorn, the junior out of Duncan, Oklahoma. It is hard to believe when you look at those numbers that it's a 3-point spread.
It's also hard to believe that it's the LSU offense that's got that many yards, over 300 yards, still time to play in the first half, and Texas only has 104. Texas, the 9th-ranked Longhorns, were the ones with the potent offense coming into this game.
2nd and 9, Davis in motion, and they bring him back on the inside, and he maybe got a yard, maybe not even that much. Played beautifully defensively by Texas. And Cedric Griffin, a redshirt freshman.
Well, Cedric Griffin has seen this play run a couple times today, and instead of playing off, he stayed right up tight to his man, and when his man came down the line of scrimmage, he just got right in his back pocket.
Cedric Griffin plays that nickel spot. He should match up very well nickel plate. 4 wideouts in the game. They're going to have to go man coverage.
They're coming after Randall. He lets it fly and threw it behind the intended receiver.
And there's another example. We just talked about Cedric Griffin. Cedric Griffin, once again, in Carl Reese, the defensive coordinator's system, a spin down guy. He's a safety, but they use him as a nickel corner. That gives the defense flexibility to lock up man-to-man and not change into zone coverages whenever the offense gives you a spread formation.
This will be a 37-yard attempt. Corbello has not missed inside of 40 all year long. And does so for the first time.
That's a big turn away by the Texas D, guys, because if they get another 3 points there, it's just that momentum thing. And now you feel the momentum coming back a little bit to Texas.
Well, Texas D clamped right down, too.
Yes, they did.
Don't forget, they had the bad punt. Their offense was pinned down. They had the bad punt. LSU gets it right in Texas territory.
They needed to keep LSU from getting points on the board every time they go down the field. And it seems like what it's been for LSU.
Saw big Stevie Lee. He's fired up for this one. Number 65 of the Longhorns. He's a native of Louisiana. Out of Shreveport. Left there to come to the Longhorns. 3:56 to play here in the first half. Texas was all 3 of its timeouts. Dangerous throw and batted down by Brady James. He had the coverage of Brock Edwards. Let's go downstairs to Brian Baldinger.
Yeah, Tom, I've been down here for the whole first half, and an exciting first half it is. The fans in the lower bowl here have not sat down once during the timeouts, the breaks, anything. They are excited to be out here on a beautiful day out here in Dallas.
Well, Baldy, let me ask you, if you had a chance to sit down, you're a big man. You got to take a load off every now and again.
No, I don't want to sit down. This is too good.
Our man Baldy.
He's something, isn't he? He is big time here in Big D.
Down until after midnight.
Second down and 10. Sims, short drop, fires to Williams. How about that catch? Broke a tackle to the 40, to the 30, the 20. Still tiptoes, dives. Did he get in? No signal given by the official, and they will say he went out of bounds at the 5.
And you know, it keeps starting at the same place it started on the touchdown. At the line of scrimmage with Corey Webster. He's beating him right off the gun.
Well, you have to ask yourself, why not just every offensive play?
You can't cross over and get him covered. Now, he's got help inside, but now they miss tackles.
Why not go to Roy Williams every play? I mean, he's unbelievable. Did you see him make that catch? It wasn't even a good pass. He has to reach behind himself to make that catch. Then he does it, pulls it down, and then he does this.
And you see,
run after the
he's
catch.
got the long arms. You see the strength there.
I see everything.
The guy reminds me so much of Randy Moss. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, on the field, but not off the field.
Absolutely.
They give it to Benson, cuts it back. Did he get in? Yeah. Touchdown. And Texas recaptures the lead. Now one signal said touchdown, and now the official one given by the referee. We had 2 different officials signal touchdown, but perhaps that's not the case.
On the field was down prior to breaking the play in the end zone, so it's second down and goal.
Still a nice run here by Cedric Benson. He makes the cut, he gets low, gets his shoulders low, drives through. I think that was a good call by the official. I don't think he quite got in.
Yeah, that ball hasn't crossed the plane.
Second and goal. And this time,
he's in.
It is a touchdown. Benson, his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. to put the Longhorns back in front.
But Roy Williams was the guy who really put the Longhorns back in front with another spectacular pass play. Talk about an impact player, right? I mean, he catches the first touchdown pass.
How about the catch?
He takes that one the length.
Right, how about the catch we saw at practice the other day? He made one of those Randy Moss behind your back, no look deal.
Well, he said he doesn't have to look at the ball to catch it. You know, after I saw that catch in practice, I believe it. Because he kind of does that here. Watch him here. Watch where this ball's thrown. Behind him, he's twisted around. He comes sideways. He makes that catch. And then what he does after the catch, that's kind of, you know, you talk Randy Moss with his hands, but then you think Terrell Owens with the run after the catch.
Did you see what he did there? He switched hands with the ball in between tacklers. Okay, that's technically a no-no, fundamentally, but that's something that the great ones do. And here's a guy that the coaches, they want him to catch 200 balls in practice, and he says, I don't catch any. I guess he doesn't need to, at least not right now.
I'm not going to argue with him.
He's really had to battle through so many injuries, most notably a hamstring injury where he didn't tell the coaches all year long he wasn't at 100%. Yet he had 11 touchdown receptions, a Texas school record.
And you know, that's a great point, Tom, because in the Oklahoma game, right here in the Cotton Bowl, his hamstring was hurt. And he had a big play in the first quarter, but they lost him the rest of the game. He just wasn't a factor. And I think that played a big part in Texas losing that game.
There's no question. I mean, without Roy Williams, 100%, Texas is a whole different offense.
Like taking away Michael Vick from the Atlanta Falcons.
45 seconds to score that touchdown for the Longhorns it took, and Dominic Davis, the SEC's all-time kickoff return and punt return yardage leader, brings it out to the 34. Coming up at halftime, we'll listen in to both bands, LSU and the University of Texas marching bands. And we'll have scores and highlights from other bowl games taking place today. I haven't seen a score, but I would find it very hard to believe there is any other bowl being played right now, or maybe through the rest of the bowl season, that's had a better quarter and 12 minutes than we've had here today.
You're absolutely right, partner.
That's the first time you've ever said I'm right. Marcus Randall.
I say it under my breath a lot.
Off balance and then just throws it away as he hits the deck. When you get a look at the total yards, LSU a stunning 309. 75 of those 185 for Texas came on one play to Williams a moment ago. Yet the Longhorns lead on the scoreboard.
Well, they lead, don't forget, they had the Lee Jackson fumble return for a touchdown, so that gave them 7 points right there. And then 2 huge Roy Williams pass plays resulted in the other 2 touchdowns.
Hofield broke one tackle, couldn't break the next one.
The only adjustment I want to know about going in at halftime for LSU defensively is, what are you going to do now to stop Roy Williams? I mean, you got to change this thing up. I understand what they're trying to do, but Webster has struggled so much technique-wise, and once Williams catches the ball, the yak yardage, as we say it, is just killing Texas. Excuse me, killing LSU.
I don't know how much more you can do, Ronnie. You've got your most physical cornerback up and pressing him, and with a safety over the top. That's all you can do. You can't put 3 men up. Maybe you can.
Maybe you should.
3rd and 9. Great protection. And Randall really overthrows Clayton, who was open.
You know, that's the first bad pass we've seen from Marcus Randall all day.
And I wonder if that calf isn't starting to affect his throwing. We've seen some low balls, and that's one of the things that can happen to you. You hurt the leg, and the ball tends to take off on you as a quarterback because you can't step into it when you try to go down the field.
And you guys brought it up earlier. He tore his ACL in the right knee during the spring game last year, had to rehab all summer. They didn't think he'd be back for 6 months. He was back in 4, and then wound up the starting quarterback.
There's a line driver.
Great punt. And it will roll into the end zone. Texas will get it in the 20. All 3 of its timeouts left, and 1:58 to play until halftime.
Well, we've talked about Roy Williams and what he's done for this Texas team. They started out the game, and the LSU defense right there, Corey Webster, got into him a little bit. But you can only get into him so long without help. That time, he's isolated man-to-man, catches the slant from Sims, touchdown. This one here, he's got the double coverage. He beats the coverage, and then he beats the rest of the defense all the way down the sideline to set up the touchdown.
He's only averaging 62 yards per catch.
Right. You know, you can live with that. But the thing is that Texas has realized they've got to start going to him. And things didn't get better in this game for Texas until they started going to him. I thought it was interesting what Chris said about, you know, being the son of Phil Simms, former NFL quarterback that we all know. And he said there were times when I'd walk out in the field and all I was concerned about was what Dad thought up in the stands. I wasn't focusing on the defense or what I had to do as a quarterback. Yeah, that was a big transition to get away from that kind of mindset.
Well, I love the way he said that his dad never pushed him to the game of football. And it all came from him. He said he was the one who wanted to be a football player. His dad never pushed him, but his dad means a lot to him, right? It helps him with the film study. And I think that when you talk about Chris Simms, first of all, he's a wonderful young man. But when you talk about him playing in the NFL, you know he's got mental toughness because he's gone through the tough crowds, he's gone through the tough media, and you also know he knows how to prepare for a football game. He takes that film home, he studies it up one side and down the other.
Very difficult on this turf at the Cotton Bowl Stadium. You see Simms, his team's record, he started 3 of those 4.
But when they come to play here, things have not gone well.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, they started out this game behind, right? And they've been behind, and I'm impressed at the way he's kind of kept his composure. He hasn't gotten too excited. He hasn't forced anything. He hasn't come up with a turnover. And, you know, you give Roy Williams some credit, but Chris Simms delivered the ball, especially on that slant pass, the first touchdown.
He's got to find him, and he's got to deliver.
Roy Williams has come back on after sitting out the first play of this drive. 2nd down and 3 for the Longhorns in their own 27. Blitz coming, and they get to Simms.
And he was looking right at Roy Williams again. Looks like they had a hitch and go on, but the pressure got there.
Byron Dawson with a sack.
Well, Byron Dawson is in his mouth right away. Watch Dawson right here. Look at that. No one blocks him. So that's a mistake up front on the protection. And Simms is lucky just to hang on to that ball.
3rd and 11. Here they come again. Simms drops it off over the middle. Catch is made. First down all the way out to the 37-yard line.
LSU brought one off the corner.
Yeah, well done by Simms, right?
That's right. They decided to bring, and that's another good thing about Simms from a pro standpoint, what the college or the pro scouts are looking for. Does he know where to go with the football when pressure comes, when blitz comes? Because that's the biggest problem that quarterbacks have when they get into the NFL.
David Thomas, a freshman tight end, made that catch. Now Simms escapes trouble, is able to drop it off out of the backfield, but a loss of 1. Clock continues to run.
Brady James mixing it up there.
Brett Robin made the catch there and is slow to get up. Simms and James having a few words. For Simms, when he threw that first touchdown, he got in the face of a couple of the LSU defenders, taunting the LSU sideline a bit. You got to admire his passion and his enthusiasm. But if you're going to do that, when they have a chance to take a shot, they're coming at you the other way.
Tim, you know how these bowl games go. You get different conferences, and, you know, one team is used to hearing about how great another team is for 12 weeks, and they got the month off. Things can fester a little bit. Things will be festering in some other games.
I think you've got one of these chess matches between Brady James and Chris Simms, because the LSU defense today wanted to get into Chris Simms' head. They wanted to mix up their coverages. They wanted to shift their defenses around. They wanted to put pressure on Chris Simms and get him out of his game. And Chris Simms, on the other hand, knew that Brady James was going to be changing that defense around. He wanted to be patient. He wanted to get a feel for this defense and what they were going to be doing to him. And I think both of them have done a good job. You know, it's been a back-and-forth battle. LSU had the edge early, but Sims has come back well, but he's come back by getting the ball in the hands of number 4, Roy Williams. And I think that's exactly what you want to do on this play here. There's Williams right there being covered by Corey Webster, and there's no safety over the top.
Williams is going up the field, and Sims is not even looking that way.
Drops it off to Benson out of the backfield, trying to get out of bounds. And along the sideline, able to beat Hunt, but Hunt then trips up. Benson all the way down to the 18-yard line. Clock continues to run. It will when they get the chains set for first down. 7 seconds left.
He didn't have to look at Williams on that play. When you've got a man that wide open, skirting underneath the zone, you got to get him the football.
Well, I was watching Roy Williams, and I saw Roy Williams throw a block on Corey Webster that turned that play, that doubled the length of that play.
They said that Benson stepped out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So now Sims looking for Williams. Batted away.
That's a nice play there by Webster, and it's a nice play because he knew where the ball was, and he got himself in between the ball and Williams.
Well, Webster used to be a wide receiver, and so when the ball goes up in the air against Corey Webster, you know, he thinks like a wide receiver. He goes up for it.
I was wrong. This is Sloan Thomas he had an eye on.
That's right.
Why would you throw to anybody else, for crying out loud, besides Williams?
I wouldn't.
7 interceptions. Led the Southeastern.
Right now, Williams isn't out on the field.
Sims rolls one way, throws back the other way. And a catch is made by David Thomas, and he stays in bounds. The clock continues to run under 20. One timeout left for the Longhorns, and now they will spend it. What a first half. And coming up at halftime, we remind you we will listen in on 2 great marching bands from LSU and Texas. And we'll bring you up to date on what else is happening around college football on this busy New Year's Day. All right, fellas, you got 19 seconds left. You're out of timeouts. Ball at the 27-yard line, so it would be an extremely long field goal try. Mangum has not hit from beyond 50 yards this year, and it would be a little bit short of that.
Number 4.
And you know the route I like, outside of the one where you have them run in the end zone, wait for the ball, is the post corner route, because in this defense, he's been able to get separation and get in that hole between the corner and the safety. He's got time to do that and get him along the sidelines there and get him a little closer.
Clock continues to run, and they race the field goal unit out. They may not get this off.
Usually takes about 10 seconds to do it, and they're right at the 10-second mark.
Mangum, a 40-yard try.
Great discipline.
Wow. Did they get it?
Goal unit.
Just short.
It's amazing they even got that one off.
That is a sign of a well-coached team.
What a first half here at the 67th annual SBC Cotton Bowl. It's been a very solid first half for Chris Sims, who's had his troubles in this stadium. Let's go downstairs to Brian Baldinger.
Mac, 3 big plays has your team winning this game right now. Can you rely on the big play to win this?
Well, Brian, if it works, we can. You've been around this game long enough to know the thing we've got to do is play better defense. Because we were on the field only 3 plays on offense the first quarter. Our defense forced the turnover, got a little momentum. We let them have an 80-yard drive. We let him squirt out on the quarterback draw. We've got to force some turnovers. We got to play defense like we did the last 6 minutes of the first half. And our offense can move the ball if we stay on the field.
Okay, Mac, thank you. See you in the second half.
Brian, Coach Brown, thank you very much. Plenty of halftime festivities, the color, the pageantry, the electric atmosphere of the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, 21-17 Texas.
Will the winner fall for the man or the mansion? Joe Millionaire, the ultimate test of love versus money, a new reality series premiering Fox Monday.
You do realize you're driving on the wrong side of the road.
This is America, man.
Right then. Good show. Carry on.
When I was in a car accident, a friend told me to call Montlick & Associates. Well, I dialed 1-800-LAW-NEED and knew immediately I'd made the right decision. Montlick & Associates gave me so much attention. They were friendly.
You know, I thought we played well offensively in the first half. I think we dominated the line of scrimmage and made some big plays in the passing game. But defensively, we gave them a few big plays, and old number 4 is a great player, and he made some big plays for them, and we got to do a better job against him.
As a defensive coordinator, what do you do to Roy Williams here in the second half to prevent those big plays from happening?
Well, every time he made a big play, we played him one-on-one. And all the rest of the times that we rolled up on him and kept 2 guys back, we did okay, and we're just going to have to have a lot more patience.
Good luck to you in the second half, Coach. All right, Tommy, back up to you.
Brian, thank you very much. And, fellas, that's exactly what you guys talked about before we ever kicked off today. We're figuring they would double up on Roy Williams. The times they did, and he only caught 2 passes the entire first half, but 126 yards on the 2.
That's right, and the only time, like Nick Saban said, that they've had trouble is when they played him pure man-to-man. They're going to get him more help this time around. You can bet on that.
But on the other side of the ball, I think LSU offensively saw a huge performance from quarterback Marcus Randall. I think he outperformed what anyone expected from him in this game, and he did it with a combination of throwing the ball. He found his running backs, he found receivers downfield, he took the big hits, and then when things broke down, Ronnie, he took the ball in his own hands and had some pretty big run plays to help LSU move the ball down the field and score points.
Absolutely, 86 yards rushing. Now we know that he hurt his ankle or his calf muscle, and that kind of has affected him a little bit, but the guy has been awesome in every phase of the game.
Speaking of awesome, Ronnie, on the other side, and we talked about it a little bit, but just take a look, folks, at what Roy Williams did in this first half. And Tommy, you mentioned it, 126 yards. He started out the game a little rough. Corey Webster got in his face, banged him around, but you can only do that so long before this guy, who's an incredible talent, busts loose. Chris Sims throws the slant pass for the touchdown, and then on this pass here, this is all Williams. He catches it behind himself. The run after the catch was extraordinary.
And I know what LSU is trying to do. They're trying to jam him at the line, slow him down, and then put a safety over the top. But as I keep saying, the problems start at the line of scrimmage. You have to be better on your technique. You got to stay in front of him and get something on this guy.
See, when you say line of scrimmage, I'm thinking, you know, the Hogs. I'm thinking offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You're talking about line of scrimmage, Corey Webster versus Roy Williams on the line of scrimmage.
That's right, baby. This is out there on that island when nobody can help you.
Out there, yeah.
The Longhorns will get the football to begin the second half. Orpello, a long line drive. And it's taken by Young, who crosses a 30, and he's out to the 35-yard line. Let's take a look at some of the numbers from the opening half. Clearly dominated in a total yard standpoint, first down standpoint by LSU, but they trail.
Well, the big factor that we haven't mentioned yet was Corey Redding, the sack for the fumble. Lee Jackson returns that for Texas's first touchdown. That's the difference in this game.
The time of possession. That started out that way, and it stayed that way the entire first half. Chris Sims, I really think Texas is lucky to be up right now for the amount of time that they've been on the field.
Well, they've come up with the big plays to Roy Williams when they've needed.
Sims hit on 9 of 15 in the opening half, 202 yards and a touchdown to Williams. They start things on the ground, and wrestled down is Benson by number 94, the sophomore Marquise Hill.
That's just a great play there by Marquise Hill. And this front unit for the LSU Tigers, you know, they're big, they're strong, they're physical. You have to believe that Texas has thought that they could run on the outside with these guys, that they could get on the perimeter, and they really haven't been able to do that.
That's right. I agree with you, Ron. I think LSU has done a nice job on the line of scrimmage, on the interior part of the line of scrimmage.
Interior.
Only 25 yards rushing for Benson for the first half, and that carry here in the second half. Second down, good protection. Sims drops it off, but dropped by Benson out at the 37-yard line. It'll bring up third down and long for the Longhorns.
Well, Chris Sims throws the ball up the center because he sees on the outside that Roy Williams got cover too. Here's Corey Webster, and there's that jam that Ronnie's been talking about all game. Now, Williams gets away from Webster, but there's a safety right there, and that's why he's not worried about it, and that's why Chris Sims goes away from that double coverage.
And that was a two-man, Tim. The cornerback is going to trail inside. They're going to try to undercut him with the safety up top.
When they go with the single coverage down there, that's when Chris Sims is going to want to look up number 4.
Dangerous throw by Sims there. He felt the pressure. Marquise Hill was giving chase and made him throw it a little quicker than he wanted to.
Well, this is the second big play by Marquise Hill that we've seen. First down, he stops the run. Second down, watch him here. Blows right past the guard, gets in Chris Sims' face.
Ryan Bradford, the senior out of Lufkin, Texas, to punt, standing in his own 17. And a short punt, Dominic Davis with home. And actually went backwards and wound up losing yards. It looked like the first two guys to get down the field actually overran the ball, and Davis came back to him. First down for Randall and the Tigers. Their first possession of the second half when we return.
What if SBC wasn't there to repair your phone service?
I'm not touching it. You do it.
How would the other companies take care of it? They don't have repair crews. About all they have are marketing people.
I am not going down in that hole.
If the telecommunications industry doesn't change, this could become a reality. And that's not fun. Your phone company, a real phone company. SBC.
Watch it my way. Clear. Impressive. Affordable thin. Way to go. I love it.
You and 9 friends could win a trip to the big game on January 26th in San Diego. Purchase a Gateway 42-inch plasma TV or any computer system by January 14th, and you're automatically entered. No purchase necessary. See Gateway Store or gateway.com for details.
By the way, I can do all this with Gateway. A better way.
At this late hour, the results seem inevitable.
No.
So I'd like to concede the election and congratulate my esteemed opponent, Big Al Lawson. Loser.
Yes, I got the power.
Emmy winner Michael Chiklis returns in the series that's too intense for network TV. The Shield season premiere next week, only on FX.
We lost an American legend this year when Byron Whizzer White passed away, famous for his all-around performance for Colorado in the 1938 Cotton Bowl. White went on to serve for 31 years on the United States Supreme Court. Sellout crowd here in Dallas, just underway in the second half, and it's been a wild one so far. 21-17. Texas in front of LSU, but the Tigers on their first possession of the second half come out throwing. Little screen set up for Dominic Davis. And he is knocked out of bounds after a gain of close to 7, chased down by Reed Boyd.
That'll be Reed Boyd's 6th tackle of this game, and he's played well. And you talk about Texas being a speed defense. Reed Boyd's been using that speed. He's been all over.
And he's been all over all year. Leads the team in tackles. Came into today's game with 112. And that's one thing that this defense, this team has become, especially in the last 10 years. This whole conference has gone from that Smash Mouth running conference to a speed conference. A lot of speed on the field.
Old-time Smash Mouth football right there. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Tigers. Let's send it downstairs to Brian Boulding.
Thanks, Tom. I'm with the president and CEO of SBC, and John Stanky. And John, what a great week in Dallas.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more. The SEC and the Big 12 have brought 2 great teams here today. We got wonderful weather. Cotton Bowl Association did a great job. It's been fabulous.
Why is SBC so committed to this classic?
Well, it's about higher education. This generates an awful lot of money back to these universities. Does a good job of bringing in money to the local communities in the North Dallas area. So we think it's a great thing. 3/4 of every dollar going to help these schools, and we like that.
That's great, John. And then now you're using this game as a launching pad for your new national brand.
That's right. We're now moving out beyond our regions. We're selling products that are more national in nature, like DSL, long distance. Recently just got our long distance approval in California. So our products are much more national in nature, and this gives us a great opportunity to start promoting them and selling to our customers.
And we have a great game to boot here, John. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Tom, back up to you.
Brian, thank you very much. A 3rd down attempt, a failed attempt for the LSU Tigers, so 3 and out on its opening possession, and a fake. They snap the ball to the up man, and Brady James is wrestled down at the 40-yard line. It worked earlier this season for Nick Saban, not this time.
Well, remember right before halftime, we saw how quickly and how disciplined the Texas field goal team was. This is just more excellent coaching, great discipline by the Texas punt return team. This thing never has a chance. Everyone stays in their gap, everyone stays home, and the Texas special teams just bring down Brady James just like it's another day at the office.
And I'm not sure I understand why it's important for LSU to do that right now. I mean, this is a close game. They've jumped out to a lead. Texas has fought back. Play a little field position. There's no reason right now with Texas ahead to give them a short field like they just did on that.
So now Sims and company from the 42. They hand it off to Young. And the freshman gets it down to the 37-yard line. Selvin Young will certainly push Cedric Benson for the lead spot at tailback once spring ball begins.
I think Selvin Young is part of Mac Brown's effort to convince Cedric not to play baseball this summer. Basically say, look, you got a young guy behind you who's competent, who we're willing to give the ball to, and if you're going to play baseball and you're not going to come back stronger than you left school, then Selvin may be part of the answer.
Selvin gets it again, and he has a first down to the 24-yard line.
And Selvin is a true freshman, and you know that's one thing that this program also does well. They get young kids on the field early, and you see that from other great programs around the country. Miami has been known to do that. Florida State.
He gets some nice blocking up front on there, but it's the acceleration, Ronnie, that impressed me.
And that crowd's got to be careful saying that about Benson. You got to remember, Benson had over 1,200 yards rushing this year. It's not like he had a bad year.
4 carries for Young, meanwhile, 28 yards, and he stays in the game. First down to the 25, and Sims looking for Williams. Just overthrew the diving boy Williams.
And we talked earlier about the adjustment they would make on Williams right off the bat. A little bit of a jam. Now what that does is it buys time for the safety to get over. You see him coming in late there, but it takes the timing away from the quarterback. And that took exactly, they say technically a jam at the line of scrimmage will take 2 steps away from the receiver down the field. And I think if Williams had those 2 steps, he might have made that catch.
See, 9 of 18 for Sims. He has started the second half 0 for 3. They hand it off on the end around, and it'll be a gain of about 7. They handed the ball to the sophomore out of Houston, Texas, Tony Jeffrey. His first carry of the year. Jeffrey, a former high school All-American quarterback who's also excelled on special teams this season. He's blocked 2 punts this year.
Well, that was a nice-looking play, and you talk about Selvin Young does a nice job out front. getting a block and helping get the edge on this play here.
That's why I said wide. That's a smooth-looking play.
Right there, watch Selby. Nice job.
He uses up 2 guys. Makes this a short 3rd down.
3rd and 4. Sims fires, far side, knocked away. Good coverage by Webster on Williams.
Well, I'll tell you, it was pretty good coverage, but that ball was thrown back to the inside.
Yes, it was.
Because that's what enabled Webster to recover and get to the ball, because Roy Williams had him beat. He ran the out cut, and Roy Williams had him beat to the sideline, but the ball came inside the receiver instead of outside.
That's one area where Sims needs to improve it. The accuracy, it's not always there on the throw.
Dusty Mangum on for a 35-yard field goal attempt. He only hit on 4 of 8 from 30 to 39 yards out on the year. And he pulls this one. No good.
So after the failed fake punt, LSU lives on.
High-scoring first half. Both teams slow to get it going here in the second.
Rugged, authentic, original. Now, the next big thing from Nissan, our national year-end event. 0.9% APR financing on the 2003 Nissan Xterra. So, what's next? Just the end date. 0.9% ends January 6th.
New 5-star denim from Wrangler. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
The 7-layer nachos from Taco Bell. So much flavor for so little price. You may become a 7-flavor optimist.
Do you mind? Knock yourself out.
7-layer nachos are just 99 cents. Get all the flavor of 7 intense taste stacked on golden chips. They're a value. Down to the very last bite. To get more flavor for 99 cents, think outside the bun.
Shocking as the streaking Giants battle their longtime playoff rival, the 49ers. The NFC wildcard, Sunday on Fox.
Coming up this February, NASCAR on Fox returns with the 45th running of the Great American Race at Daytona 500. Tony Stewart leads the world's best drivers, while Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Larry McReynolds return for another season of high-speed racing and fun. The flag on 15 weeks of NASCAR coverage returns this February only on Fox, and we'll be just down the road at the end of March at the Texas Motor Speedway for the 7th Winston Cup race of the year, the Samsung Radio Shack 500 right here on Fox Sports. First down handoff broken up initially by Derek Johnson.
That's great penetration there by Johnson.
That's this defense again. This is an upfield gap defense. When you've got your linebackers, they're not just reading. They're not just trying to read gaps and read the play as it unfolds. They're penetrating. They're upfield, and they're causing disruption in the backfield. There's Mike Huff following it up. He's a safety, and he's already behind the line of scrimmage.
Of Michael Clayton. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for LSU.
Well, Tommy, I said Corey Redding, his sack for the fumble made the difference in the score of this game. LSU answered by putting 2 guys on him. They bring the tight end to help the tackle, and that's what gives Marcus Randall a little time to throw this ball. Corey Redding, you know, Carl Reese, the defensive coordinator, said to us, he's got a 1960s work ethic. He has a work ethic like no one else. You know, he learned it from his mom. He said, you know, growing up, my mom had 3 jobs. She always had a pot of coffee on the stove, and she didn't even drink coffee, but she She drank it to stay awake, to work 3 jobs to take care of me and my brothers and sisters.
Randall, the long ball, and overthrew a wide-open Jarrell Myers.
And that's where the youth is right there. That's just a touch pass. You have to learn to throw that ball, and that's a tougher ball to throw than people think. They see Brett Favre throw it. They see guys like Tom Brady and Kurt Warner. You know what? It takes a lot to throw that ball and put it on the money.
But Ronnie, we saw Marcus Randall throw some of those deep balls with touch in the first half, and you said it earlier, he's got that injured calf, and I'm wondering if that's not affecting his throwing mechanics.
Basher drops back to receive the punt and brings it out to the 46-yard line. That's where Texas will start on its second possession of the second half. The Longhorns lead LSU 21-17.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by January 20th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Doesn't Miller Lite taste great?
Yeah, but I drink it because it's less filling.
Great taste.
Less filling! Great taste! Less filling! Great taste! Less filling!
Oh, man, now that would make a great commercial. Who wouldn't want to watch that?
Life is best told over a great-tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Less filling!
Now there's support for students who are often overlooked, the kids of hard-working Americans. Introducing Education is Freedom, because the American dream starts with education. Stop by 7-Eleven today and join us in contributing to the dream.
4 times since 1970, the Longhorns have played the Cotton Bowl, the national title in sight. In 1970, they won a thriller over Notre Dame. The Irish got revenge a year later, upsetting the Horns behind Joe Theismann. Number 1 Texas faced Notre Dame for the 3rd time in '78, and the rubber match all Irish. And then in '84, Georgia upset number 2 Texas with a touchdown late in the 4th quarter. Miami that year upset number 1 Nebraska in the Orange Bowl to win the national championship. And Bevo hoping for a better story for the Longhorns here today. Sims on first down, rolling left, pump fake, and he'll just hang on to it. And steps out of bounds.
He took a shot by the
Adam
LSU
Doran
faithful on the other side there.
Adam Doran.
Well, they say you be careful going to the other bench.
Yeah, why?
Nobody's going to hold you up.
Yeah. Chris Sims on the bootleg. He rolls to his left. He's a left-handed quarterback. Now he gets run out of bounds here. Watch Doran right there. I'll tell you what, man.
You know, that's the advantage of having 100 guys on the sideline.
Well, one thing I will say about Doran, I mean, I believe he just raised his hand up just to keep Sims from hitting him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't put anything into it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it looked bad, but I don't think it was intentionally bad.
Second down give is to Benson, and he is tackled by Lionel Turner just across midfield of the 49. It'll bring up 3rd down for Texas.
Tim, it's interesting the 2 different approaches to practicing during the off month before a big bowl game. LSU, they came into this game and they more or less had a crash course. They went 2 days for 8 practices in 6 days. They crammed it all in there. And on the other side, Texas, they tried to spread theirs out and keep guys into it.
Nick Saban said that he was treating it like a 1-game season, complete with minicamp, training camp.
At the line of scrimmage, and Sims has still not completed a pass here in the second half. Batted down by Marquise Hill. He has the largest wingspan on the entire team.
And again, Marquise Hill, he was the guy that slammed Sims earlier. He was the guy that brought down the run play to start this half out. And that's a beautiful athletic play. He gets upfield, gets pressure in the quarterback's face, and then still swats it down.
Bradford trying to pin him inside the 20, but into the end zone. And LSU will get the football at the 20. Trailing 21-17 after the 49-yard punt by Bradford. We'll be back to Dallas in a moment.
So 20 seconds left. Garcia looks left.
He's got this weak side blitz coming, right? Takes a snap. It's a 3-step drop.
Bunch of big guys trying to kill him.
Dodges this one safety. Ducks under this tackle. Launch this awkward, just squirrely looking
prayer to the corner of the end zone.
Right into the hand of
J.J. Stokes. Touchdown.
touchdown.
Should have been there.
Should have been there.
You should have been there.
If you want to be there, bring your Visa card, because you can't buy 49er tickets at 3Com Park with American Express.
You should have been there.
Never pay interest. Plus no payments until 2004. Will anyone else ever offer a deal better than this? Never pay interest when you buy a new Mitsubishi. Plus make no payments until 2004. The fastest growing Japanese car company in America wants to grow faster than ever. It's the Mitsubishi year-end sales event. But hurry, this deal ends January 2nd.
Imagine you're an ordinary Joe who earns $19,000 a year, given the opportunity to take 20 women to a chateau in France.
Oh, my goodness.
Convince them you had $50 million.
All the blood's rushing to my head.
And make them fall in love with you.
He's tall, dark, and handsome.
The question is, how long could you keep it up? Can true love survive a little $50 million lie? Joe Millionaire, a new reality series premiering at 9/8 Central, Fox Monday. Don't miss a note. The next American Idol premieres Tuesday, January 21st on Fox.
Like to send our Happy New Year wishes to those of you tuned into the SBC Cotton Bowl here in Dallas.
You got purple and gold on one side. You got burnt orange on the other. Bright sunshine, the brass band, right?
Oh, yeah.
Great way to start the new year.
Man, what a beautiful day. I mean, last year we had every piece of feeling we could find in this town.
You guys thought you were in Green Bay last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
A heck of a football game down the field.
Woo, that was a rocket.
On the high to the intended receiver, Jarrell Myers. And we can only wonder, you guys brought it up at the time, a short run out of bounds in the second quarter. And Randall came up limping a bit. Then 2 plays later, he rushed for 75 yards, getting inside the 10, leading to a touchdown. But since then, after getting up limping again after the long run, he's really struggled. You got to wonder if he's hurt.
Well, he's looked like Marcus Randall we watched early, midway through this season.
Right.
Struggling.
Out of the shotgun, now he'll run it.
Great play by Redding.
Got him from behind.
It's hard to believe that Corey Redding is 270, 275. And Tim, I asked you that the other day watching film because he moves so well.
Well, Rodney Reed's got his hands full right there. And he blocks to the inside, then he tries to come back to the outside, and that just ain't happening. I mean, Corey Redding has too much speed, too much athleticism to try to chip before you block out at him.
Looks like Rodney Reed's got his hands tied. They're going to get Texas for a late hit. And Texas had the full-on blitz coming, too.
I don't know.
Or Randall might be on Randall.
Yeah. Because that flag came late.
Yeah, it looked like he almost flipped the ball in the Texas defender's face.
Well, he's lucky there were whistles because Derek Johnson and Corey Redding were coming with full heads of steam.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. The distance for the goal.
There's Marcus Randall, and he takes that ball, and when he throws it at Corey Redding.
That's uncalled for there.
And I know he doesn't want to get hit after the whistle.
So the line of scrimmage, pardon me, Tim, has gone from a 20 all the way back inside the 8.
Well, if you think back earlier when Michael Clayton caught a shot over the middle and then he didn't retaliate.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Inside handoff on a 3rd and 22, and it's Tofield. First down and more. Dominic Davis all the way out to midfield.
What a stiff arm.
Well, you saw the power running, and you thought initially Tofield, but that's Davis.
Wow. Well, this is a beautiful draw play right here, and everyone in the stadium is thinking pass on this 3rd and long. Well, watch it right here. There's the draw, and then Davis does a beautiful job of cutting back across the grain of the defense.
Look at this. Oh, my goodness.
Nathan Basher.
Look at the strength there.
And you know,
that's kind of a, that's Texas fans are thinking Ricky Williams with
Earl
right?
Campbell.
Or Earl Campbell, yeah. A heck of a stiff arm, and it was a great cut. Man, I like the play.
What a momentum turner that could prove to be in this game on a 3rd and 22. And now Randall to throw on first down. He wants it all. And then some. And just out of bounds going to Michael Clayton.
You know, can Clayton do more? Here's a guy, only a sophomore. We've seen him make great catches right off the bat. Started off in the game. He was a big factor. Then he goes over and plays defense, and he just misses that one.
And this ball is thrown almost uncatchable out of bounds. It's a great effort,
but he
by
comes
Clayton.
up with it.
Yeah, he comes up with it, but you know they don't get it because
he's
again,
limping.
yeah. But again, Marcus Randall, Ronnie, it has not been accurate on these deep passes since he's hurt that calf.
And I still think it has to do with his plant foot, his ability to lean forward and get his body into the throw.
Well, they swing it out to Tofield in the flat, and the penalty flag is down on the play. He got to the 44, a gain of 5, but will it come back? Offsides against Texas.
Second down.
Well, Michael Clayton is catching a breather. He's had 13 plays on defense, including one tackle. And that was a star tackle. I mean, that was a beautiful tackle. And then 5 catches on offense for 75 yards.
I don't want to take anything away from Clayton. We brought up Chris Gamble, the Ohio State two-way performer. Just to give you an idea, that's 18 plays for Clayton on offense and defense. Gamble has had 2 games this year of over 100 plays in a game, including 115 in an overtime game.
He's a great player. You're not an Ohio State fan at all, are you?
I'm a Gamble fan. That's a fan playing both sides of the ball. They hand the ball off to Tofield, and he's inside the 40 on a second down carry, and he's close to first down yardage.
Tim, you begin to wonder now as the game goes on, and I know Texas is up, but LSU, a little bit more physical, a little bit bigger up front. Will they begin to wear on the Texas defense? Texas has been out on the field a lot this game.
I think that's the key. The size differential is one thing, but you can combat size by putting guys in gaps and shooting upfield, but you can't combat being on the field play after play and an overload of minutes.
Exactly.
3rd and 1, good enough it appears to be anyway for a first down as they hand it off again to LeBrandon Tofield, the junior out of Independence, Louisiana. And they will indeed move the chains. So a 3rd and 22 that went for a 44-yard run by Dominic Davis has kept this drive alive, and now they're marching deep into Texas territory.
And Carl Reese, the Texas defensive coordinator, alluded to this yesterday. I said, I'm a little worried about if they start to lean on us, lay on us late in the fourth quarter, the size thing could be a big factor.
And around the double reverse.
They're trying to throw it.
And they're going to throw it, and it's underthrown. They had Jarrell Myers make the throw. And he had an eye on Marcus Randall, the quarterback.
Well, this is a New Year's Day play, right? You got the double reverse pass back to the quarterback, and the throw just does not get it done. He was open, too, right? I mean, Marcus Randall had a nice separation there. The defense bought it. They just couldn't get it down.
It's a good thing Jarrell is a senior. That may be the last pass he gets to throw from a reverse standpoint.
I think Randall's got to get back to some crossing routes and throw some crossing routes to his receivers.
Dominic Davis inside the 35, down to the 34. Again, Corey Redding on the stop.
Because, Ronnie, when you think about it, in the first half, when Marcus Randall was having most of his success throwing the ball, he was moving outside the pocket, and he was also throwing those patterns, those crossing patterns, because Texas plays a lot of that man-to-man coverage.
And that's how you beat
guys
that.
up. Yeah, you have your receivers run away from it. Maybe you move the quarterback outside, you clear things out a little bit, and just lead them with the pass. They've not done that. Most of their passing in the second half has been the long stuff down the sideline, not Randall's strength.
Third down. Randall will take it himself.
Ball's out.
The ball is loose. The Longhorns say they have it. They do.
That's a missed opportunity by LSU. Maybe not to score, but if nothing left, to go for a field goal or punt and play the field position game.
I think it was Kalen Jakes who knocks that ball out of there, and then Lee Jackson comes up with his second fumble recovery of the day for Texas.
Our dad's idea of time on the road is different now. He signs more report cards than autographs and spends more time on our wardrobe and hair than his. Instead of people watching him play, he watches us play. But one thing hasn't changed. Every night, he plays to a full house.
Smart move, Dave. Consolidated with Dell PowerEdge servers. Highly available, highly scalable. Intel Xeon processors. Cuts costs across the board. So you're not going to miss those old servers, right?
Oh, Tony. What did you do with the old servers?
Nothing.
That's our drinking fountain, isn't it?
You mean Hydra?
Find out how you can cut costs across your enterprise. Easy as Dell. Call or go online today.
Jim! Hey, Mikey. Here's our TV, 57-inch widescreen. Looks even better than last week.
Can we take it home this time?
Therein lies the problem, Peter. The minute we take it home, I'm going to see it on sale.
You know, with Circuit City's Price Match Plus, you don't have to worry about that.
Huh.
Don't worry, take it home. And right now at Circuit City, buy any big screen TV and get free delivery, guaranteed in time for the BCS Championship game. Circuit City, we're with you.
Winston Cup champion Tony Stewart tries to conquer NASCAR's most legendary track. The race begins February 16th, only on Fox.
Longhorns defensive end, it was Brian Pickrell, not Kalen Jakes. Pickrell 98, watch him. He makes this tackle right there, and then this ball just pops right out. No one even touches it. Pickrell hits him. Well, that's just not very good ball control.
No, it's not. And it's inexperience. You got to know the state this game is in. Play the field position game down there.
Now the Longhorns begin this drive from their own 31. Sims checking off at the line of scrimmage. And a play fake to Benson. Looking downfield, great protection. Guns it over the middle, and who else? Williams dragged down at the 42-yard line.
You're absolutely right, Tom. That was great protection. Anytime a quarterback can sit up in the pocket, stop his feet, and wait for his crosser to come all the way across the field, your offensive line is doing an outstanding job. And they're trying to pass off. Webster's trying to pass off to Hunt, but Hunt doesn't pick it up quick enough.
Well, it's this play-action fake, I think, that helps the protection set up and gives Chris Sims that big pocket.
Flip 90.
Pitch it to the near side, and Benson bangs his way to the 39-yard line.
I think Cedric Benson's going to have to drop off a bottle of Advil for Jack Hunt.
And a bag of ice.
That's the second time we've seen Cedric Benson get downfield and say hello to Jack.
Jack wants to know what type of wood that was. Was it birch, oak?
But Hunt brings him down.
That's all that matters. Like they say, those old defensive back coaches say, hey, it may not look pretty, just get him on the ground.
And around to Roy Williams. Inside the 30, inside the 25, cuts back. One more time. Touchdown, Roy Williams. What a cotton ball for this spectacular junior out of Odessa, Texas.
I'll tell you what, it's a team game, but Roy Williams is a one-man offense.
And you're right, Tim. That's what we said in the open. He's a guy that can change the game in one play. And he's had about 3 of those one plays.
I think some players just see things at a different speed. And I think Roy Williams is one of those guys.
It's called talent.
Right after Bob Mackey, Roy Williams has touched the ball a grand total of 4 times in this game. He has 2 touchdowns.
Well, this is just a beautiful thing to watch.
It is, and this is the kind of stuff.
Remember I said Terrell Owens?
Right, I was going to say it's run after the catch. It's yak, rack, whatever you want to call it, but it's what a guy does once he has the ball in his hands. And that separates the good receivers, the okay receivers, from the ones that go to the Hall of Fame. And this is a guy that's been bothered by a hamstring injury most of the year. As we said earlier, didn't play in the Oklahoma game very well, even though he did have one big play. But he is lighting up the LSU secondary.
4 touches, 177 yards of offense.
Just so you don't blame the LSU defenders, take a look at this thing in real speed and decide if you could bring this guy down. He's got the moves, he's got the speed, and then he's got the strength.
Nick Saban not happy about that. And you know what it is, Tim? It's the tackle. Yes, he's a great athlete. Yes, he's got jets and he can go and he's sized, but you've got 8 defenders back there. Somebody has got to at least touch the man.
Well, they touched him. They just
You're right.
Dominic Davis throws the ball at the 9. Recovers. And now brings it to the outside. And Davis all the way out to the 34-yard line. Nice return after having trouble finding the handle by Dominic Davis. Like a reminder, this Sunday, the NFL's second season begins. Round 1 of the NFL playoffs. The Giants visit San Francisco to take on the 49ers, who host their first playoff game in 4 years. Coverage of the NFC Wild Card begins Sunday, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, only on Fox.
How about Tiki Barber and that heroic effort to help the Giants win that game against Philly?
Nobody slept better in New York City than Tiki Barber that night.
Brandon Tofield carries out to the 39-yard line, a gain of 5 on first down. So LSU now trailing by 11. Still 3:40 to play, and we're only in the 3rd quarter.
This is a key drive for LSU. Not because there's not a lot of time left, but because they haven't answered to Texas. They came here in the second half, and Texas was up on them by 4, and then they got some points, and then they got more points. LSU needs to answer right now.
Well, they've moved the ball up and down the field all game long. But I'll tell you, anytime they've gotten down close to Texas' end zone,
carry, good enough for a first down by LeBrandon Tofield. Basher able to chop him down close to midfield.
And Tim, isn't that the mark of a good defense? You can call it bend, not break, whatever, but when it gets down into that green zone from 20 yards on in, you've got to tighten up and you've got to make big plays, and Texas has been able to do that. It's been the big plays going in that have hurt them.
Look at this, man. There's the Cotton Bowl itself, but I don't know where we are in that. I know it's sunny and it's beautiful, it's colorful, and warm.
Been a great week here in Dallas as Jarrell Myers makes a catch, and he's tackled in Texas territory down close to the 45-yard line.
And Ronnie, this is the kind of passing that I want to see Marcus Randall do. I want to see them call more of these kinds of plays. Let him throw the slant plays. Let him throw the crossing patterns. Let him get his rhythm back and his confidence back in his throwing.
That's how they started the game.
Exactly.
With some quick stuff like that, and that quick stuff led to longer stuff, and they've got to get him back to that.
Tofield wrapped up, slipped a tackle, still on his feet, good enough for a first down to the 39. And LeBrandon Tofield, after a slow first half, starting to pick things up, as is this LSU ground game here late in the third quarter.
And Tom, that ground game is about ball control and keeping Texas high-powered offense off the field, and that plan has worked great this entire game. Now they've got to get the ball in the end zone, but I think their plan coming in was to keep Sims off the field, keep Roy Williams off that field.
Well, part of the reason why they're keeping Roy Williams off the field is every time he touches it,
exactly,
he picks it up. You know?
Late thing. Randall shakes one tackle, cannot shake a second. Reed Boyd drags him down, and a penalty flag thrown back in midfield.
That's just good tackling by Reed Boyd.
Face mask will go against Texas. I think there may have been a pair of penalties on this play. We'll see from our referee, Gerald Wright.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Previous spot. First down.
We'll take a look at the face mask here.
Well, I don't know if it's Lee Jackson.
Boy, if he got it, it was very quick, and it definitely wasn't one of those intentional deals.
Well, I knew it wasn't Reed Boyd, but there it is right there.
He got it. It's enough to call. Once the official sees that head turns even the slightest bit and your hand on the mask, you're going to get popped.
Down to 25.
And look where they are. They get down close, right? They get down close to the goal line. And that's where the Texas defense has just been outstanding all day today. And they do it with that penetration. Very aggressive play calling once they get down close.
Corey Redding, the USA Today's National High School Defensive Player of the Year, coming out of Houston, Texas, North Shore High School in 1998. The High School Offensive Player of the Year in that same recruiting class, Chris Sims. Out of the shotgun, there's that slant pattern, it's intercepted. Derek Johnson.
Tim, it's unbelievable. We just got through teeing this up. When LSU drives the field, get down to the red zone, they self-destruct. Well, that's 2 series in a row.
I don't know if it's as much self-destruction
or
as
great plays like
defense.
Texas.
I mean,
exactly.
Texas, you know, that's what speed does for you. And speed got Corey Redding. The sack and the fumble that led to the touchdown. And speed is what gets Derek Johnson this pick. He reads it, and he jumps the slant.
And he was definitely right there. There's no doubt about whether or not Derek Johnson was in position to make the play.
Texas defense had 21 interceptions during the season, creating 32 turnovers. And they have 3 of them here today. fullback, who caught 18 passes during the regular season.
That was a nice shot. And then you go to a guy that nobody thinks is going to be involved in the passing game. You take your fullback, split him out, and you get him the ball.
I think this pass is the setup. I think this is a setup to throw towards Roy Williams, but not to Roy Williams.
Yeah.
And I think the next one goes to Roy Williams.
Yeah, and Roy Williams had several steps down the sideline. Talked about that rhythm. Sounds in the rhythm.
Big chase. And down he goes. Norman LeJeune, the senior, playing in his final college game, picks up the sack, and that's a big one, a loss of nearly 10.
Well, these are those secondary blitzes that Chris Sims said he knew Nick Saban was going to be throwing at him. In fact, he brought home a cut-up tape during Christmas vacation so he and his dad could look for these kind of blitzes.
So we go to the fourth quarter. Texas in front 28-17. Chris Sims trying to win at the Cotton Bowl Stadium for the first time in his career is 15 minutes away from doing just that.
What are you doing after the wild card game?
We're going to Disney World.
Why not catch the wildest Fox Sunday of the season, starting with an off-the-wall Simpsons.
One churro, please.
That'll be $14.
Then Peggy's new business is booming on King of the Hill. And Hal takes a walk on the wild side.
Watch my butt while I walk.
On Malcolm. Plus, Conan O'Brien goes wild on Andy. An all-new Fox Sunday starts at 8/7 Central.
From USA Network, the breakthrough hit of the summer returns.
Wake up!
Based on characters from the Stephen King novel.
You're the guy that sees things.
The Dead Zone is back for an all-new season.
You believe in fate,
Don't miss the gripping season premiere of The Dead Zone. Check your local listings for the season premiere on USA.
Sorry, I can't make it. I've got a really important soccer game this afternoon.
The Odyssey from Honda. With its dual power sliding doors, 146 cubic feet of cargo space, and third-row folding seats, it's perfect for all kinds of soccer moms.
He wants an answer now.
Well, we've had no time.
Hey, anything?
I'm on the D&B site now.
John, we're all here.
Good. I want to move on this thing. What do you think?
Well, they've had some good press.
They've shown decent profits.
So it's a go. Hold on, John. The D&B information is painting an ugly picture. Are you sure? It's D&B, John.
Don't just be sure. Be D&B sure.
We are Georgia's News. Fox 5 News at 5.
Murphy is the Nutty Professor. Fox Friday.
The SBC Cotton Bowl Classic on Fox is brought to you by Circuit City. We're with you by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. By Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. Chris Sims and the Longhorns have not won on this field during his 4 years at Texas. Quick hit to Sloan Thomas. And he's inside the 40, stopped at the 39-yard line by Brady James. It'll bring up third down and about 7 for Texas.
Tim, Brady James is quite the jokester, isn't he? He came in our meeting room yesterday, and he might be in a stand-up act somewhere.
Why, because he got on my hair?
Yeah, you know. But, you know, middle linebackers always got something going on. And Brady James has plenty going on.
I got thick skin. I can take it.
Yeah, you took it. I wasn't worried about you.
All-out blitz coming against Sims, and he'll get it. Melvin redshirt freshman who had 5 sacks during the season.
We talked about Nick Saban scheming against Chris Sims, and they needed a big one now, and here it comes. This is an all-out blitz. Safeties, linebackers, even Michael Clayton, they send a wide receiver on the blitz. When you send a wide receiver on a blitz, you're serious. You're blitzing everybody.
Ryan Bradford to punt. Low line drive, and Davis will let it go over his head. And did they down it? It looked like they did. At the 1-yard line. 49-yard punt. Dropped beautifully in there by the junior college transfer from Trinity Valley, Brian Bradford. We are in the 4th quarter, 28-17.
A hurricane doesn't care. A tornado doesn't care. When it comes to your company's critical data, your internet service, or how long you'll be without a phone, Mother Nature simply doesn't care. But a lot of people do. Around 190,000 of them work for us. The customer, that's who we answer to. Infinite Service, SBC.
Look, Roy, Jimmy's emailed us pictures from camp.
Way to go, Jimmy. That's my boy.
Hey, it's a picture from Jimmy.
Dude, we have to go to camp next year.
Looking for more expressive email? Introducing MSN 8. It's our best version of MSN yet with more exciting email. Switching is easy, and if you call now, you get 2 months free when you sign up. Find out why it's better with the butterfly. Call 866-TRY MSN 8 today.
We should change before we pick up the girls. Okay.
Chevy Avalanche. It changes from a pickup to an SUV.
What are you doing?
Avalanche, like a rock.
Shockey and the streaking Giants battle their longtime playoff rival, the 49ers. The NFC Wild Card, Sunday on Fox.
Corey Redding and Chris Sims have been the 2 most impressive leaders I've seen in a long time, on and off the field with this team. They're tough, they're aggressive, but they're smart, they're gentle, and they're caring, and they care about more than just winning. They got us back on the map, and they did it with class, they did it with a swagger, and those 2 guys have definitely left their name in the history books at Texas.
Chris Sims trying to give the Longhorns a win in this stadium for the first time since the Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day, 1999. Starting this drive from their own 1. They hand it off to LeBrandon Tofield, and he picks up 3.
Well, this is right where you want to go to LeBrandon Tofield. He's your big, strong back. He's your north-south runner. You are pinned up against your own goal line. That's how you got to punch your way out.
But don't be surprised if they come with something a little funky, some spread formation, and use those backs. That's something they've gotten away from the first half, is throwing the ball to the backs in the perimeter.
Handed off again.
That was a shot.
Reed Boyd delivered that blow.
Reed Boyd's been making tackles all game long. And right there, he gets perfect pad level, gets up underneath Tofield.
You know what Boyd is? He's one of those guys that can find the football in traffic. And that's what a middle linebacker has to be able to do. You know, whether you take a good read, bad read, with all those bodies floating around, you got to find the football and get to it.
3rd down and 5 out of the shotgun. Randall rolls right and threw right in between a pair of receivers. Number 14, Clayton, and number 4, Reggie Robinson. Let's go downstairs to Brian Boldinger.
Yeah, Tom, Texas just finished that series there on defense without their All-American Corey Redding. He was on the sideline here, getting his left wrist and his left hand fully taped up. But he's ready to go and be out there next series.
Baldy, thank you. The final college game for Corey Redding. You guys will be watching him play undoubtedly this time next year.
Corey Redding acts like he's ready for the pros now in terms of his media interviews. Yeah. Very polished, very well-spoken.
He really is a sharp kid.
I was impressed as a defensive lineman. He knew all about the wide receivers, and the running backs, and the quarterbacks, and he had the whole game plan down.
He is as sharp a young man getting ready to make his way out of college as you're ever going to come across.
New 5-star denim from Wrangler. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
There's a light in your soul says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Nothing better. Be you, do what you do.
Dave. Larry. How is that Dell consolidation going? TCO's down. Uptime? Highly available. Great. And you? Well, you know, we're still running a proprietary Unix-based system. Right.
A Dell flexible solution with Dell PowerEdge servers and Intel Xeon processors can help manage your enterprise for less. Easy as Dell. Call or go online today.
Going to Disney World.
The Simpsons go on a magical vacation.
One churro, please.
That'll be $14. All new at 8/7 Central, Fox Sunday.
Welcome back to the SBC Cotton Bowl Classic. And Happy New Year. Hope everybody's feeling okay this early afternoon. Our crew's been here since about 3:30 in the morning. And a lot of these fans were here tailgating shortly thereafter. Young, the freshman, gets a carry, tries to turn it to the outside, but out of bounds at the LSU 42-yard line, and that clock now running under 12 minutes.
This is where LSU's defense right now, I think they need to come aggressively right now. I think they need to run some run blitzes, some pass blitzes. They need to stop Texas, but I think they need to stop them in a dramatic fashion.
Yeah, well, here's where you say, okay, Roy Williams, we're going to lock you up man-to-man. You've beaten us before, but our backs are against the wall. We got to make something happen. We got to get Marcus Randall and our offense back out on the field.
Well, remember last time they brought the full blitz on Chris Sims? I think that's exactly what they need to be doing right now.
But you won't see it on this play.
Open receiver across the middle, Roy Williams, and just threw it too low and too far in front.
See, Williams is open no matter what you do. Whether you blitz, stay back, play 8-man front, so you might as well send the house and get some pressure on Sims, and maybe you get a bad throw.
Right, well, they get the bad throw anyway, but here's Roy Williams, and he drives Webster upfield, and then he comes back to the inside.
And he's open. Sims just misses it.
Here's where I gotta believe LSU is going to bring some bodies of Chris Sims.
They're messed up. They're trying to get things lined up. You see, they just switched around.
Throw, and the catch is made by Williams.
You know, we talked about his hands.
Yeah.
You could hear that ball hit his hands. He's just they say he catches everything in his hands.
I think he got the first down.
I'll tell you, this guy has made a couple of unbelievable catches here today, including this one. This is a fastball high and away from Roy Williams.
What'd you say, Tommy? High and away, and he chased it,
It's
and he got it.
Yeah, Randy Johnson-like fastball coming there. We'll see on the...
he chased it and got a piece of it.
That's right. But it really is amazing. I mean, you know, guys, we were talking about it at halftime. As you look at the career numbers for Roy Williams, just spectacular. And if you weren't with us earlier, he will return for his senior year next season. This guy is really something special, and you've seen it here today.
He's a one-man offense. I mean, he's got 2 touchdowns. He's got 142 yards in the air. And then he had the 1 touchdown off of the reverse. And it was just a spectacular run once he hit the corner. What a great luxury for Chris Sims to have a receiver like Roy Williams to throw to.
Pitch it to Selman Young, who's getting the bulk of the playing time in the second half, and he's run out of bounds. Another Texas first down to the 21.
And Tim, going back to Roy Williams, he credits his performance and his ability to a guy that left here last year and is now playing cornerback for the San Diego Chargers, and that's cornerback Quentin Jammer. He said, the first time I lined up on Quentin Jammer in practice, I ran right by him and caught a 60-yard bomb, and I danced and I talked, and I said, this is going to be easy. This is good stuff. He said, I never got off the line from Quentin Jammer any time after that.
Well, he said the next day he didn't get out of the backfield. Right? He said Jammer had him going backwards.
Brady James just throws Young down to the turf.
You know, great players help make other great players. You practice against great players. And I think that's the case there for that man, Roy Williams.
You know, guys, and I got to say, you know, we're fortunate enough to have a chance to be around so many of these great athletes at the college level, the pro level. Right. How many times in this day and age do you hear about, you know, young people are this way, or, you know, the kids today, they're that way? We have met just some absolutely terrific young men on both of these teams over the last couple of days.
Absolutely. 2 great programs, and these guys are a great reflection of it.
Strange play there. No penalty flags. Everybody kind of stopped. And then Sims fires a bullet.
There's a nice throw by Chris Sims.
That is. And what happened there, Tommy, is that...
Well, this is improvisation by Sims. Pocket breaks down. He uses his feet. He's got a little bit of pocket mobility. He sets up, and then he guns it right in there.
And what happened there, Tom, was that they tried to check out of the blitz. Sims audible. They tried to check out of it, got caught in between the check.
Well, I'm impressed with Chris Sims and the Longhorn offense on this drive here, because they've got LSU down, and now they're trying to take them out.
Play fake, Sims rolls, throws. It's Williams. Did he get in? No signal given yet. And now touchdown, Texas.
And now they might be out. That was just a very well-executed play. We see that in the pro level a lot. Play action, the bootleg to the opposite side. And you got to remember, Sims is a left-hander. That's his natural side. A lot of teams, defensive teams, aren't used to looking at the quarterback going that way.
Dusty Mangum for the point after. Ivan Williams getting his second receiving touchdown of the year. Williams, one of only 3 Texas players ever with a 100-yard rushing game and a 100-yard receiving game. The other 2, Johnny Lamb Jones and Eric Metcalf.
This is going to be one hell of a trip.
The extreme high-tech DVD hits the streets with never-before-seen action stunts. Triple X. Buy it now on special edition DVD.
Get to KFC today for an unbelievable deal on popcorn chicken. 45% more free when you get an individual size for only $1.99. 100% premium breast meat chicken. Crunchy on the outside, juicy on the inside. And now, for limited time, 45% more free for only $1.99. Only at KFC.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by January 20th.
You are now free to move about the country.
January 10th, LA's most elite undercover cops are making their move.
I'm cool with it, man. You cool with it? It's cool with me.
night.
You're hooked.
New time. Same speed.
Last time I saw you, you were naked. I like this story.
Fastlane moves to Fridays, followed by an all-new John Doe, January 10th on Fox.
Texas has broken it wide open after a slow start, leading LSU 35-17. An impressive 47-yard drive capped off by the touchdown throw. Sims, Ivan Williams.
Well, Tom, you talked about Chris Sims not winning the big game. I think this was a big game. This was a big game for Texas against a dangerous LSU team that has upset teams in the last 2 years in bowl games. They started off down. They came back, and I think Chris Sims kept his composure and deserves a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
Because coming in, the knock was he'll play great at home, but when you get down to big crunch time, he's not going to make it happen.
Yeah, Sims,
no national championship.
No, and did not lose a game in Austin, Texas.
No national championship. No Big 12 championship. And a disaster last year against Colorado.
And, you know, Ron, for that matter, Sims has never been first team in his own conference as the quarterback, much less an All-American or a Heisman Trophy winner.
15-yard penalty, first down.
You know, but guys, I mean, you guys play the game, and we still have enough time to get into this, but it is unbelievable to people outside the state of Texas, the pressure that has been on this kid since the day he changed his mind after signing with Tennessee and then coming to Austin. More on that shortly. We'll be right back.
Powerful new Silverado is here. Still available with a 340 horse Vortec V8.
Platoon, Wall Street, Hot Shots. Somebody loves Charlie Sheen. Oh.
Can I run a check for these?
Can I see some ID?
I'm gonna have to call the bank. Is this gonna take long?
Yes.
How's it going?
This doesn't look like you.
It did when I came in here.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
How's it going?
It all starts here, grade school, the place where our children begin preparing for life. And the SEC recognizes the responsibility teachers have to affect their future.
The SEC's education initiative, every elementary school and library throughout the Southeast is getting this wonderful CD-ROM. It uses athletics to reinforce math and reading skills, and it teaches things like teamwork and good sportsmanship.
The Southeastern Conference, creating a legacy for the future.
Will the winner fall for the man or the mansion? Joe Millionaire, the ultimate test of love versus money, a new reality series premiering Fox Monday.
Chris Sims almost giddy over there on that Texas sideline. Why not? His Longhorns lead 35-17.
And as Mac Brown said all week long to his team and to us, Chris Sims, Corey Redding, and that senior class have been integral in turning this Texas program back around.
For more on that, let's send it downstairs to Brian Boldinger.
Hey guys, this senior class has a chance of winning more games than any class in the history of the University of Texas football. 40 wins if they win today. I just talked to Chris Sims, and their slogan from the seniors is, take back Dallas. They haven't won in Dallas in the last 5 tries. Chris Sims is smiling right now, a 1,000-watt smile. They're enjoying this right now.
Baldy, thank you very much. 9:12 to play in the game. And again, it's a die who carried a moment ago, and he's inside the 35, down to the 33. Joseph Adai, redshirt freshman out of Houston, Texas, one of the few that got away.
Well, it's never over till it's over, but this is exactly what LSU is going to have to do. Marcus Randall just take the field 10, 20 yards at a play.
a strange year for LSU. You know, in some ways, they're lucky to be here, and in other ways, they're probably happy to be here. They started out 6-0. Matt Mock was the original quarterback. He gets hurt, and it was up and down after that. And really, Marcus Randall's done an excellent job of salvaging the season.
Well, it was
being thrown in there.
Talking to Nick Saban, and he said that not only did Mock get hurt, but that was when Tofield broke his arm. He said that Mock and Tofield, along with Brady James, were the real leaders of this team. So he lost 2/3 of his critical leadership.
Not to mention he had to suspend Damon James, the free safety.
Yeah, he said those were the 4 leaders, and as Tim was pointing out, now you lose 3 of the 4. After you had a 5-1 start and you're coming off a win over Florida.
Well, Marcus Randall has flagged a little bit here in the 3rd quarter of this game, but he started this thing out, and it looked absolutely fantastic. At one point, he was 9 of 12.
Oh, dangerous throw there. Knocked down by Huff and nearly taken the other way. The one other name we failed to mention, Henderson broke his forearm against Ole Miss. He was the receiver, you may remember, that caught that Bluegrass Miracle, the 75-yard Hail Mary touchdown against Kentucky on the final play of the game.
And, you know, he's big. They don't talk about it, but that's big because you don't have a complimentary guy to go along with Clayton on the other side. And that's why they bring in Skylar Green, and they use the back to try and make up for that speed that they don't have on the other side of the field.
Jerome Myers, maybe a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 9. LSU came in, we mentioned, with a 5-game bowl winning streak, tied for the longest in Division I football with North Carolina and Miami. Of course, the Hurricanes have not lost a game in over 2 years. Randall took a shot.
He did. And he had Myers.
Mike Huff comes up on the safety blitz right up the center of the pocket. Gives Randall a mouthful. And you have to remember, going back to what Mac Brown told us, that the last time that Longhorns were here, they were upset by Arkansas. Mac Brown said it was an embarrassment. He said he looked at his own bowl record, and it was 5-5. And he said he talked to Bobby Bowden and said, how do you guys prepare for a bowl game? Because it's not working for us. We want to emulate what you do. And Bowden said, I just keep the guys working, keep them working. Don't take time off. Don't let them get out of a rhythm.
But don't burn them out at the same time.
40-yard field goal is good by Corbello. It's interesting to note for Mac Brown, I mean, Bowden's the only guy he can call. Since 1990, only Bowden and Paterno have more wins. Only Bowden has more consecutive winning seasons in the last 13 than Mac Brown.
Like any big outfit, SBC's got all kinds of people doing all kinds of jobs. Whether they're wearing a tool belt and a hard hat or a shirt and tie, our nearly 170,000 employees, many of them third generation, are just working people, paying their taxes, helping out in their community, and working their tails off, just so you can get on the phone and ask what's for dinner, or get on the internet and say ship 5,000 widgets to my warehouse. Now, we know most people take the old dial tone for granted, but we don't. We can't. Ordinary people, extraordinary job, infinite character, SBC.
With the help of HP technology and HP services,
the world's space agencies can focus on getting their explorers home safely.
The SBC Cotton Bowl Classic on Fox is brought to you by SBC. Ordinary people, extraordinary job.
They did an extraordinary job with this bowl game. Huh?
Oh,
how about
man.
the swag?
Oh, man. How are we going to get it home? I got enough candy to rot out every tooth I have for the next 3 years.
This is always just such a great time. We're just so honored and privileged to be a part of it. Onside kick, and LSU has recovered. Or have they? It came loose again. And a mad scramble for the football. The Tigers say they have it, and they do.
We got one signal going Texas, one signal going LSU.
I think he may have been out a little late last night. The guy pointing for Texas. He was.
Well, I'll tell you what, all of a sudden, right, LSU, who looked like they were down and out, they come with the onside kick.
Ronnie Prude, #1, got in there to get it.
Those are the kind of plays that exemplify this LSU team. And that's Jack Hunt. He's in on that.
Now Randall out of the shotgun. Rolls, throws across the caught by Clayton. What a catch at midfield.
All right, we're talking about Williams' hands. That right there was a catch.
Randall, he had to come back and high for that ball. Randall is.
And again, Randall limping around as that clock will start back up once they set the chain. Under 7:30 to go. They need.
I like the way they moved him out of the pocket, though.
Handed off to Topi inside the 45, down at the 44. Of course, we have a 2-point conversion in college football, just like the NFL. So a 15-point spread. They could take the lead with a pair of touchdowns and 2-point conversion.
Tim, you just made a great point as to what may be happening to LSU's offense. With the injury to Randall, I don't think they can get him out of the pocket as much as they would like to. They're forced to call plays to keep him in the pocket, and that's not necessarily his strength.
Added ball and nearly intercepted. And again, Flea Jackson right in the thick of things.
But they are, Ronnie, going back to those crossing routes that were so effective early in this football game.
He's trying to hit one of those crossers, but just a nice job.
I think that was Pickrell. He was the guy who forced the fumble.
You know, I got to ask you guys a question.
There's an Oklahoma guy that got away.
Well, let me ask you guys a question here. You guys see things up here like things they did effectively in the first half. I think a lot of fans are able to see that on television. It's a slower game when you sit up here or watch it on TV. Is that when it's thrown away? And the logical fan that I ask when I watch a football game and hear you guys say this stuff on an NFL telecast is, why doesn't the coaching staff see it? Or do they?
Good question, Tom.
No, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's like you hand the ball off to a guy. Well, 6 out of 10 plays. He runs on those 6 carries for 65 yards, and everybody's saying, well, why didn't he get it the other 4 times?
I think what happened was Marcus Randall was hot, and I think they thought that he could start to do everything and make every throw on the field, and he completed some good passes to the outside and deep. Right. But he struggled, and I think now they've got him back into his game of throwing these short crossing passes.
This is 4th down.
And it's intercepted. Derek Johnson still on his feet. And then caught from behind down to the 20. And that should just about do it. Granted, 6:33 to go. But a 15-point Texas lead. And a penalty flag came in. Are they saying this is going to be against Texas? If it is, there's still hope for LSU.
Well, the LSU sideline, they're waving, let's go back. Nick Saban's clapping.
Look at that. There's still hope. That's an automatic first down. And now Randall We'll watch as his main target, Clayton, comes over to the sideline.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Previous spot. First down.
And Corey Redding may be the guy with the jump.
And Tom, and further answering your question, another part of it, like we say, the injury to Randall, it's hard to switch game plans even at halftime, even when you're supposed to make those big adjustments. They come into this game, been practicing for a month to do this, roll out, throw here, and now you got to switch. It's hard. It's hard enough to do it at the pro level, even harder at the collegiate.
Randall wants a long ball and just does overthrow Benny Brazil, the redshirt freshman from Houston, Texas.
And Tim, the difference also between the second half and the first half, you can feel the desperation in their passing game instead of the calculation. The crossing routes, the quick slants, the post corner routes, the timing routes out there. Now it's like, hey, throw it up in the dirt, go. We got to get to the end zone.
Well, I tell you, if you're going to pick a guy to throw to, he was looking at the right guy right there in Brazil, a world-class sprinter, anchored LSU's 4x100-meter relay national championship team, and was the SEC's male track and field freshman of the year. Dragged down as Randall at the 38-yard line. Clock continues to roll as we close in on 6 minutes.
Now that to me is a desperation play.
Right,
I mean, you've got a quarterback who's hobbling out there, and you go with the quarterback draw on second long.
You wasted down on that one. You should have just threw one up again.
I mean, he's having trouble moving around out there. You don't want to go to the quarterback draw, but look, it's tough for LSU right now because Clayton is their go-to guy.
Right.
He's their big receiver. He's the guy with all the talent right now. He's on the sideline hurt.
Jimbo Fisher, the offensive coordinator, I'm sure on that play thinking, let me get to a manageable third down. And now he's at a 3rd and 9, and they're going to have to work for this one.
I'll tell you, some folks may have some headaches from last night's festivities, but I guarantee you there's some guys who've been out here on this football field today. They're going to have some headaches after today's festivities. Happy New Year.
And they're still working on Clayton over there. That's the guy you need in the game right now. If there's been a bigger playmaker on the LSU team outside of Randall, it's definitely been him.
Well, Brandon Tofield's put together a pretty good day as well.
Yes, he has.
He's definitely done his part. And again, Ronnie, LSU has moved the ball really effectively up and down the field. It's just that when they've gotten close, when they've gotten in or near the red zone, this Texas defense has just taken over with big plays.
Absolutely. I mean, Texas, they have gone to another level down there.
Well, they've come up with turnovers. They've come up with an interception. They came up with a fumble, and they came up with a sack, forced fumble, which Lee Jackson then ran in for a touchdown to score Texas's first points of the day.
3rd and 8. Pass completed down to the 24-yard line to Skylar Green.
Trying to run that inside wide receiver screen. You might remember the Chicago Bears made this thing real popular a couple years ago. And Green broke one for 70-some yards against Arkansas. But obviously Texas has scouted that play very well and knowing it's coming because they've shut it down today.
Well, the one thing that LSU still does have out on the field, even without Michael Clayton, is some speed. And Skylar Green is one of those guys, and he can get behind a defense.
Well, this is the ball game pretty much right here for LSU. Trying to keep it alive on a 4th down. And wide open was Myers, and it's incomplete.
Looked like it went right through his hands.
They had the speed. They had the right play. They had the right throw. But Myers didn't have the right hands. That's Michael Clayton's ball right there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. How many did we see Clayton catch today? On the ground, behind him.
So now Chris Sims will come back onto the field with 5:06 to go. Sims in his freshman year played in 6 games, made 1 start. Then the following year became involved in the major Applewhite controversy. That's when Applewhite was a reigning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. Came back the next year. Mack Brown gave Sims a job. Applewhite won it back.
You know, you can say what you want to, but this gets maybe not a big monkey, but a small monkey off of Chris Sims' back. And I think for him, he wanted to leave Texas knowing and let everyone else know that he could win in the big game. And like you say, take Dallas back.
Well, you know, the thing that really impresses me most about Chris Sims is the fact that he has weathered this storm from the Texas fans, from the Texas media, and it's toughened him, but it hasn't embittered him. Because, you know, before I got here, my wife Alyssa was with the kids down in the media center, and I got her and she said, you know a kid named Chris Sims? I said, yeah, I would know Chris Sims.
Yeah, we've heard of him. Yeah.
He's the big star of the game. She said, well, he is the nicest guy. He was so pleasant and so friendly. And I think to go through what Chris Sims has gone through, to take the criticism from the fans, from the media, and to still be able to have a smile on your face, to still be able to enjoy the fact that you've set a school record with touchdown passes, and now you've won a major bowl game, and you've won more games than any other class in Texas history. To be able to enjoy the good things without becoming embittered, I think is a real credit to him and to his mom and dad.
And as we all know, the media pressure on NFL quarterbacks is immense. I mean, it gets rolling and it doesn't stop, whether good or bad. And I think what he's learned the 4 years here in Texas, he's going to take with him.
Well, he said
he's seasoned to go into the NFL and handle that kind of pressure.
Well, he watched his dad go through it as a kid.
Sat in the stands, right?
You looking back at Phil Sims now, and you say, well, hey, he won a Super Bowl, and he's a star, and everyone loves him, and he's an analyst and on TV, and he does a great job. But there was a day when people in New York, they booed Phil Sims when he was drafted in the first round.
When he was an MVP.
And they were calling, Chris Sims even talked about it. He said, they were calling for Hostetler. So he's seen it. He's seen his dad go through it. But, I don't think you can ever get used to that kind of criticism. I think you can just become hardened to it.
Well, it is just amazing. We talked about the pressure here and the job that Sims has done. And hand in hand, the man who arrived a year before Sims, their head coach, Mack Brown. Before Brown arrived in Texas, they were 8-5 in 1996. They were 4-7 in 1997, and had pretty much fallen off the map as a football power where they had been for so long. Mack Brown left North Carolina, came here, and now over his 5 seasons, this will be their 49th win. As we mentioned, over the last 2 years, only Miami and Oklahoma have won more games. So there will be a day when Texas fans get off Mack Brown's case, and there'll be a day down the road where they get off Chris Sims' case and say those were the guys that turned it all around for the program.
Let's face it, guys, there are a couple programs, collegiate programs out there that believe in a lot more than the old college tribe. You got to get the old college win, and the University of Texas is one of them. When you go and play at Texas, it is about playing well, playing hard, and winning.
4:49 to go, and they'll pitch it to the freshman Young, who is chopped down back at the 30. And that'll bring up 4th down, and Texas will punt it.
We talked a little about Selvin Young, Tim, and that's another thing that great programs always have, is they've always got a guy waiting to take your place once you get a little bit marginal. What was Ricky Williams and Priest Holmes in the same backfield together? Ricky Williams, the fullback.
And as you said,
it's almost comical when you think back to that.
And as you said though earlier, Ronnie, that's not to take anything away from Cedric Benson, because he's had some spectacular games here. He's done a great job.
That was a big difference Mack Brown said he had to get used to coming from North Carolina. You got 300 and some high schools there. You come to Texas, you got over 1,200 to recruit from.
Well, Mack said one of the hardest things was explaining to people why he couldn't offer their son or daughter or player a scholarship to the University of Texas. You have to do it diplomatically because next year you may want that.
That's right.
The other son, the younger son, or you may want the other player from that high school.
And Tim and Tom, this is what these games are about, the bowl games. Amongst other things, it's about recruiting. You know, how many high school juniors are sitting at home, seniors sitting at home right now, maybe on the line about where they want to go to school. You know, there's been talk out there about Nick Saban possibly taking a pro job.
And don't believe for a second that other schools in the SEC and across the country, if a young man's narrowed it down to about 3 or 4, I mean, it is just the state of recruiting as we know it. They'll walk into that young man's house and say, hey, you may have read the newspaper yesterday, but, and that's the way it's gotten oftentimes.
I think for either one of these programs, you just look around you today and you see all the purple and gold on one side, you see all the burnt orange on the other. You realize these are big-time programs and a great place to be a football player.
You know, there's nothing like being recruited. Tim, you were recruited. I was recruited. In fact, Nick Saban, along with Earl Bruce, came into my house when I was a high school senior. And it just gives you a special feeling. But when you live in the state of Texas, you better think about one school first. Well, you know, if you're a class player, one of the top guys.
Well, I looked at these numbers and I said, you know, that's more guys than scholarship. Then I realized, well, you got a bunch of walk-ons at the University of Texas, right?
18 of their 120 players are from outside the border. That's remarkable. And there are a lot of other schools coming in here doing pretty well, you know, recruiting-wise. I mean, you look at Oklahoma and all the players they've gotten out of here. That's a live ball. That is a lateral. And it goes out of bounds.
Well, you talk about Texas fielding its team from Texas, and then you look at LSU, and they do pretty much the same thing. The vast majority of their players are homegrown.
It's always so interesting to take a look at these schools and where they're getting their players. I mean, some of the traditional powerhouse areas. Nick Saban said, I've recruited the state of Ohio more than any place I've ever been. He said, I've lived there, coached there collegiately, went to college there, coached in the NFL there. He said, we don't have a single guy from that state on this team.
That's just a shot there.
Isn't it? I mean, to think that Texas and LSU do not have a single player from two very rich high school states in Ohio and Pennsylvania. It's remarkable.
They don't need them. Really.
And you can even go to Florida. Yes, Florida kids are going to want to go to Florida State, Miami, University of Florida. But you're right, that is quite a number.
About Texas, but Marcus Randall, I think it's safe to say this young man is playing hurt for the better part of half of this game, and Randall has done a solid job. Great job, no. Solid to give himself a chance to compete for the starting quarterback job next year, absolutely.
Well, he started out great, and I think he got hurt, and I think he tailed off. But on the other side of the ball, I think you heard earlier Mack Brown talk about two seniors that he felt were integral to this program. One was Chris Sims, who we talked a lot about, and the other is this guy right here, Corey Redding, who, as you remember, Texas is down 10-0, and Corey Redding's the guy who comes up with the big play, the sack, the forced fumble. Lee Jackson runs it in to put Texas on the board and really shift what looked like was going to be an ugly day for Texas.
Randall drilled as he turns it loose.
Here's Corey Redding. He starts it out. He's working against the run. He's making big plays there, helping chase Randall down. Here's the biggest play of the day, I think, for Texas. The sack, the forced fumble, and the touchdown. He said again, he learned to work from his mom. Said his mom fought her way through his childhood.
That's right. In fact, moved mom up here from his home down in the south part of Texas. He was going to University of Texas as a freshman, and he said, "Hey, Mom, pack your stuff. You're going to live up in Austin with me." And she's been there ever since. She's one of the Longhorn moms. He says, "My mom parties longer and harder than I have in 4 years combined every Saturday."
And boy, can you do a little bit of that in Austin, Texas.
I got to tell you guys, I'm not down at all about this LSU team. You look at what they have in the future. Randall's going to be back. Clayton, sophomore, he's going to be back. They've got some weapons.
I agree with you, Ron. I think Michael Clayton is a real force.
Skylar Green, didn't hear a lot about him today, but LSU fans know him very well.
Today's game produced by Jeff Cowan, directed by Rich Russo, the associate directors, Fran Morrison and Jason Wormser. Our broadcast associates, Eric Billigmeyer and Kevin Tresser. Our technical producer, Joe Stevens. And our technical director, Bob Goosley. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers at Fox Sports are Ed Gorn and David Hill. There you see the Field Scoville Trophy, awarded to the winner of the annual SBC Cotton Bowl, this in its 67th edition.
I love what Mac Brown said to us 2 days ago, and he said, you know, when people say to me, does this game, or how much does this game mean to you? He said, when people ask me that, I think they just don't know the game of football. Every game means something. You always want to win a game. And of course, we've talked throughout this broadcast about winning this game for this class of seniors gives them 40, more than any other class in Texas history. But Max said even without that, even without the numbers and the records, it's a football game. It's a Cotton Bowl. It's a great college tradition on New Year's Day, the first game of this new year, and we want to win it.
Well, you can rest assured the president of this great country of ours, President Bush, and his wife, his two daughters, of course, Barbara and Jenna, attend the University of Texas, undoubtedly have enjoyed the melodic tones of Ron Pitts and Tim Green, along with Brian Baldinger here today. So Happy New Year to the First family. President Bush actually served on the Cotton Bowl committee. He is the only president in our country's history to have served on a college football bowl committee.
I tell you, the hospitality down here has been unbelievable. All the, like you said, the swag we got from the committee, and a nice lunch we had yesterday, and it's been all good for Bevo.
Well, I tell you,
started out a little rough for Bevo, but it ended up okay.
Well, I took a peek down at the real Bevo, down at the other end. It's been a long year. It's time to take a break. I tell you, Bevo needs a little weight on them bones.
Don't talk to Bevo about the Atkins diet.
Look at him.
He ain't trying to hear it.
He's ready for a little rest between now and spring football.
And that time won't be very long either. Those boys get it going pretty quick. Sullivan Young trying to go out without his lid. You're tough, but not that tough.
And now, Tech, you've got to be kidding me. 1:15 to go here, and Chris Sims is calling a timeout.
You didn't agree with that, huh, Tom?
Do you think anybody alive would agree with that?
I think he's just not anxious to take off that Longhorn uniform.
Yeah.
Get the lowdown on Bevo, the long-standing tradition, the mascot. And it's been mighty good. Third most wins all time in NCAA history. 42 bowl appearances, third most ever. And now Bevo, a little more spry.
He's up.
Yeah, and well, what are you going to say to that? It's been that kind of day for LSU in the second half. 35-20 our score. Texas in front. Sims going to throw, and it's
now there you go. They called timeout and went through all that so they could throw an interception.
You know, we were given a note early in the game. We've not been brought up to date on it here in the last part of this fourth quarter, but that may have something to do with where Chris Sims is going to wind up on the all-time Big 12 career passing yards mark. He had gone into third place back in the second quarter, passing up Oklahoma's Josh Heupel with over 6,900 yards. We will wait officially for our statistical information from the Big 12 Conference as to why they threw the ball there.
And the thing you don't like about that, that's probably Chris Sims' last throw in college as a Longhorn, and it's an interception. That's not how you want to go out. But
I think if you win this game, you win in the Cotton Bowl. It
probably doesn't matter.
You know, for your first time, you get that big thing, the big game thing, at least partially off your back. You don't worry about it. He's still smiling.
It'll be interesting to see the kind of pro career he has. I think right now there's a fair number of question marks about what he'll do.
And it's thrown out of bounds. 53 seconds remain. 35-20, Texas in front. It'll bring up fourth down as we're under 50 seconds to play.
Clayton has been a warrior today. Guy's hurting, and he's still trying to make something happen.
Brian Boldinger will be down on the field presenting Mac Brown and the University of Texas with a Field Scoville trophy following the game. Stay with us for that.
Well, LSU saw one miracle victory, right, in the Kentucky game, but then they only needed one touchdown. Here they need two, and it's not going to happen.
Catch made, but won't be enough for the first down by a dive. And Texas will take over with 42 seconds left.
Did they dunk him? Mac didn't like that. That's great.
Corey Redding, a senior, the first guy in there to give Mac Brown a big hug. And so many of the other Longhorn seniors and players will do the same.
He's got the big hug from Derek Dockery.
Another senior, a first-team All-American. Outland Trophy semifinalist this year. Talk so much about the pressure of playing at Texas, of coaching at Texas. Nothing shy of a national championship will do. But the bottom line is the last 2 years, Texas 10 victories last season. It'll be 11 victories this season. It's hard to argue with that. And now Sims will take a knee, and that'll do it. So Chris Sims able to cast away the demons of this playing field, having never won a game inside the Cotton Bowl until today. Going to look at the final numbers for Sims, but a lot of those numbers thanks in huge part to his fabulous junior wide receiver, Roy Williams. We'll take a timeout. 35-20, our final. We'll present the Field Scoble Trophy to the Texas Longhorns when we return.
Does money really matter? Fox Monday. The whole world will find out. First, what could a high school teacher...
You come waltzing in here with $300 shoes, these kids might not realize that you're the devil.
And an investment banker have in common?
She's interested?
Yes.
In me?
Yes.
Why?
It surely isn't money.
You realize this can never work, right?
All new Boston Public. Then, meet Evan, a bachelor who earns $19,000 a year.
Great body.
And meet the 20 women who think he's worth $50 million. Now, who would ever give them that idea? Can true love survive a little $50 million lie? Joe Millionaire, a new reality series with a twist.
It's a dream come true.
That's really twisted. Monday at 8, 7 Central. It's the ultimate test of love versus money on Fox.
Shockey and the streaking Giants battle their longtime playoff rival, the 49ers. The NFC Wild Card, Sunday on Fox.
35-20 our final. Texas wins the 67th edition of the SBC Cotton Bowl here in Dallas, Texas. Their goal was to take back Dallas after struggling here, not winning since the Cotton Bowl in 1999 on New Year's Day. And Chris Sims caps off his college career, tied with Marty Akins for the second most wins, second only to Bobby Lane in the history of quarterbacks at the University of Texas.
Well, it was a day of big plays for Texas today. It started out with Corey Reddick. That forced fumble led to their first touchdown. And then it was a big day from Roy Williams, Ronnie.
And we talked about Williams in the open. We knew that Williams had that ability to change the game in one play. And he not only changed it in one play, he changed it in about 3.
Boom, Brian Boldinger is standing by.
Boy, look at Chris. You know, with all the stuff he's gone through, you think back to the last year's Big 12 championship loss to Colorado and got pulled out of there and things didn't go too well and came home, had 40 messages on his cell phone, all from Longhorn fans, not too happy about the way things went. Quite a contrast to where he's at right now.
It's a huge win for him, and it couldn't happen to a much nicer guy.
You just have to feel so good for this young man. The enormous pressure placed upon the shoulders of the 17-year-old graduating from high school, and he's battled through it all and will leave as a winner. Let's go downstairs to Brian Boldinger.
Thank you, Tom. Down here, right in the middle of the Cotton Bowl, the celebration has begun. First of all, let's start with the president and CEO of SBC Southwest. Just a couple of words here, John Stanky.
Congratulations to Coach Brown and the Longhorns on putting a cap on what's been a fantastic week. We'd also like to thank the Cotton Bowl Athletic Association and Finn for just doing a fabulous job with this game.
And now for the presentation of the Field Scoble Award, the chairman of SBC Cotton Bowl, Vin Ewing. Vin, take it away.
Mac, congratulations on a great football game. You guys are the champions of the SBC Cotton Bowl Classic.
Mac Brown, you came here 5 years ago, took over a team that was 4-7. You have restored the tradition, the pride of the University of Texas football. This is a culmination here today.
Well, it is. It's a great day for our seniors, great day for the University of Texas. I'm proud for our football team. First time in school history to win 11 games back-to-back, and I'm proud of these guys. Coaches did a great job, but these guys fought their guts out, came from behind. Really proud of them.
Mac, just a little bit about that senior class, the winningest class in the history of the University of Texas football. 40 wins with this one today.
Well, our seniors are unbelievable. They've done a tremendous job, averaged 10 wins a season, and they've left expectations even higher for this group. We'd also like to thank those fans.
All right. Mac, thank you very much. With that, Tom, we'll take it back upstairs to you.
Brian, thank you very much. Gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure. We've had a great time this week. The tremendous hospitality here in Dallas. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Thanks, Tommy. Great working with you, Ronnie. Have a happy New Year.
Good seeing you guys. Appreciate it. For more information on college football, log on to foxsports.com. So for Tim Green, Ron Pitts, Brian Boldinger, and our entire crew that has worked so hard here in Dallas, I'm Tom Brenneman saying so long and thanks so much for being with us. With our final score in the 67th SBC Cotton Bowl Classic is Texas 35, the LSU Tigers 20. Don't forget, the football playoffs begin on Fox this Sunday. And we'll look forward to seeing you back in the Cotton Bowl this time next year.
The NFL playoffs on Fox, where the stakes are higher.
Better start making some plays!
And survival is all that matters.
This is what it's all about!
The NFC Wild Card, Sunday 4 Eastern on Fox.
When I was in a car accident, a friend told me to call Montlick & Associates. Well, I dialed 1-800-LAW-NEED and knew immediately I'd made the right decision. Montlick & Associates gave me so much attention. They were friendly, knowledgeable, returned each and every one of my phone calls, treated me like a friend, and I wound up with a great settlement.
Call 1-800-LAW-NEED now for a free phone consultation.
Montlick & Associates, best decision I ever made.
It's worth repeating. The fact that more people come back to Ford over all other manufacturers. This week during Ford's year-end event, find out why. Just announced, get 0% financing plus $1,000 cash back on Ford F-150. Or get 0% for 60 months plus $1,000 cash back on Ranger. That's 0% plus $1,000 cash back on F-150 or 0% for 60 months plus $1,000 cash back on Ranger. See your local Ford dealer today.
Listen, to grow, we need to know everything about our customers.
John, the government sales call, they want you to do it tomorrow.
Okay, I'll need to know them inside out. How many locations since the mergers, subsidiaries we're in, globally. Look, this is make or break. Anyone?
It's all here. The D&B marketing data shows 80 locations. We're in 6 subsidiaries, 2 abroad.
Are you sure?
It's D&B, John.
Don't just be sure. Be D&B sure.
When Bernie puts a hit on Brianna's dog, who will end up taking the fall? Ice Cube guest stars on Bernie Mac.
Tonight at 8 on Fox 5. We now join our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
And I and my friend are looking at one another saying, you know what, this may not work out.
It's not a hotel.
What is it?
It's a spiritual community.
Wait! Don't let winter dry out your lips. Give them Chapstick Lip Moisturizer. 10 moisturizers like aloe and vitamin E in a protective moisturizing formula. Chapstick. Wait! It's what dry, chapped lips are thirsting for.
So have you narrowed it down yet?
Yeah, it's between the GE, the Maytag, or the Whirlpool. Or the Frigidaire, or the Amana, or the Kenmore.
I'm going back to the TVs.
There's no better time to buy home appliances. Now through January 4th, Sears' wide range of appliances are all on sale. Plus, get 0% financing till January 2004 on home appliances over $399. Now is the time. This is the place. Sears. Where else?
Some mornings I was so constipated I could hardly finish my route till I tried new X-Lax Ultra. The power of X-Lax in a tiny little pill with guaranteed relief by 8 a.m. Good morning.
New X-Lax Ultra with the X-Lax Good Morning Guarantee.
Skechers. On January 17th.
He missed the target. Who, the brother? Surrounded by 4 white guys with guns? The man is terrified.
He's keeping the peace.
Me and you, security guards, acting like real cops.
And getting a piece.
Are you going to strip search me?
No. Put on some music. You gonna strip search yourself.
Martin Lawrence.
Can't get enough of your love, babe.
National Security.
You're insane! And you're resisting arrest.
Rated PG-13. Opens January 17th.
I got hurt in a car wreck, and Ken Nugent got me this check.
For years, you've heard people in my commercials say,
Ken Nugent got me this check.
call me. One call, that's all.
I've been good for my head to my shoes. Know where I'm going.
Introducing Jenny Craig's New Year's Promise. Lose weight your first week or get a full refund. Call 1-800-JENNY20. Jenny Craig. It works.
My husband gave me an ultimatum to choose between him and my 15-year-old child.
A staggering demand.
I want your son out of my house.
An unthinkable sacrifice.
I chose him over my son.
A heartbreaking regret.
I needed him back with me. I'm his mom. I need to raise him.
How do you decide between your husband and your child?
What did you expect her to do? Just let her son go to keep you?
On the next divorce court. Today at 4:30 on Fox 5. Coming up tonight, Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer presents, and Fastlane. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Brian Faust says ex-girlfriend Noelle Nowoski owes for a loan to pay off her bounced checks and for the return of a gun. Noelle says Brian won't return her rabbit, her goose, and her duck.
Now you want to tell me about this gun that you want back?
Basically, on the gun I'd purchased on my birthday, my 27th birthday, July 1st of 2000.
What kind of gun?
It's a Jennings 38. I'd bought it for myself, took it to her house, had wrapped it up at her house on my birthday, and unwrapped it as a present to myself.
So you unwrapped the gun as a present to yourself, and what'd you do with it?
Gave it to myself.
You gave it to yourself? And
Gave it to myself. It was my own birthday present on my birthday.
Right. How did it wind up in her house?
Because end of July, we had gone out shooting, and she said she'd take it home and clean it and get familiar with firearms a little more. So, and then after that, I let her borrow it when she'd go out shooting with just her brother or her father.
After July of 2001, are you telling me that the gun remained in her possession?
I had it back about 3 times.
For a day?
For like a weekend.
And then you'd return it to her?
And then she'd call me up and want to go out shooting again. So I'd let her take that because it was a lower caliber. So I let her
Now I'll hear your side of the story with regard to the gun.
That was my 21st birthday present. My birthday is July 12th, just 2 weeks after his birthday. He came over for my birthday. My brother, my mother, you know, my dad was there, and he was giving me my gifts, and one of them was the gun.
Did the gun remain pretty much in your possession all during that time?
Yes, it's been in my father's gun locker ever since then.
And what about this mattress?
I've been doing search and rescue for Spokane. I've got double of everything because I got a 24-hour pack and a 72-hour pack.
At some point, it came into her possession. You want to tell me your version of how that came about?
It came into possession in 2001 of July because we were out camping last year. And I had shown up where they were camping, and I brought some extra camping gear, my tent and sleeping pads.
It's been in her possession
It's been in her possession for a year because I had to leave and go to work the next morning, and she was using it still for the next night.
Get over it, Mr. Faust.
That's fine.
Get over that. By the way, do guns have to be registered in the state where you live?
Yes, they are. I have a copy of all that.
Can I see the registration, please?
And then I also, on July 2nd, had made a stolen gun report.
You have a carry permit to carry?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Do you have a carry permit?
No, I do not.
You return the gun to him.
Thank you.
You understand that? Perfect. $14.28 is what you owe him for your bad checks. Now,
also on
add the
that,
gun.
it's actually less because after we broke up, she sent me 2 money orders.
In what amount?
20 each.
$13.88. Okay. Now, taking care of the gun's going back, the mattress stays with her. The harassment charge, because he drove by your work a couple of times, I'm not even entertaining, madam. The only thing I'm entertaining are these animals that you say that he has that belong to you. What animals do you say that he has that belong to you?
He bought me a rabbit, a goose, and a duck, and we kept them up at his house because I could not keep them in my yard, and he will not give them back.
Well, are you living in the same place now that you were living before? So if you couldn't keep them in your yard before, what makes you think you can keep them in your yard now?
I can't.
So what do you want them for?
They're mine.
What are you going to do with them? Listen, your smile goes Zippo with me. That goes nowhere. If I give them back to you, what do you intend to do with them?
I'm going to take them to, my cousin has a farm in Montana.
And where do you live?
Spokane Valley, in the city.
All right, so you're going to get on a plane with your duck.
No, I'm driving down there next week.
Really? And what do you do with the animals, sir?
I live on a farm, Your Honor.
Fine, you keep them.
Thank you.
There's something wrong with her. You got out just in time,
Yes,
so
I
your
did.
counterclaim is dismissed. You have my order on your claim. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's a controller. He tried to control everything in our relationship.
I found out more info in there before I decided to marry her, so it's good it came to this.
He treated me like I was his daughter more than his girlfriend.
She was wanting me to pay for more stuff than what she was willing to pay for.
He's mad I broke up with him.
No matter how much you think you know somebody or care for somebody, you never know.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Aaron versus Parusha Das. Step forward, please.
22-year-old airline employee Michael Aaron is suing guest house manager Adi Parusha Das for the refund of a room deposit and for the cost to stay at a hotel. Michael says the guest house turned out to be a Hare Krishna commune.
Mr. Aaron, you made a reservation along with a friend to stay at the defendant's hotel.
That's correct.
Where is this hotel located?
New York, in the East Village.
And where were you visiting from?
Columbus, Ohio.
How did you find out about his hotel?
I had a book that listed a lot of hotels.